The weekend is here, and I hope your week has been very safe and successful. It's baseball time here at Doran Park. Jordan Palacio here alongside Sam Wiederhaft. The Braves look forward to inch closer to 500 with a win over division foe, the Falmouth Commodores, who come into this game 4-6-1, and the Braves sit at 5-7. And Sam, the offensive struggles continue for the Braves. They've scored 2 or less runs in 7 out of their 12 games so far this season.
And last night didn't help. Last night was probably the most frustrating game the Braves have had this season. 8 hits and only getting 1 run out of it. Now, that has been really the story all season, is not being able to get runs home. The hitting hasn't been there. 8 hits, 1 run. It just wasn't what they were looking for last night.
Right. And we talk about the Braves offensively near the bottom of the league in terms of batting average and all the offensive statistics. However, the last time these two teams played, Sam, the Braves put up a 10-2 win against Falmouth out at Gov Fuller Field, and it's almost strength versus strength here, because the Braves have the strength in the pitching staff. The Falmouth Commodores have their strength hitting the ball, but their pitching staff has been pretty lackluster so far.
Yeah, these are two totally opposite teams. As you say, the Falmouth Commodores have the second worst team ERA in the Cape League, sitting at 5.50. That's their ERA throughout the season. And that first game that these two played against, you're right, the Braves were all over them, put 10 runs up on the board. Xavier Warren had a career game with a home run and 4 RBIs. He's not in the lineup tonight, but the Braves looking to get a pick-me-up here hitting against a team with a weak ERA and get all over them.
Take a quick look at the Western standings. Wareham sits atop the West Division at 8-5-1 with 17 points. Catuit sits in second with 14 points. The Bravos sit in the third spot comfortably at 10. Falmouth at 9 points. And rounding out the bottom of the West Division are the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And the Braves have an opportunity here, Sam, to pick up some ground on both Hyannis and Falmouth with back-to-back wins.
This is a very important stretch for Bourne with 2 games against Falmouth tonight and Hyannis tomorrow, 2 of their division opponents. The Braves have only played 1 division opponent this year, and that was Falmouth. So this being their second game in the West, a game tomorrow against Hyannis. These are 2 very winnable games for the Braves, who have a strength in pitching that could really help them get these 2 wins. So Braves certainly looking for 2 more wins to solidify that 3rd spot.
You mentioned they have only played 1 division game. It's been against the Falmouth Commodores, and it was that 10-2 win a couple weeks ago. However, the Braves getting ready to kick off their 2nd divisional game. We'll have the starting lineups and first pitch on the other side of a quick break here from Doran Park. Until then, it's the pregame festivities and both teams warming up and loosening up. We'll take a quick break, and we'll join you on the other side for first pitch. Welcome back to Doran Park. First pitch just moments away. Let's dive in to the Falmouth starting lineup. Hayden Cantrell leads things off playing second base, followed by Blake Dunn in center field. Trey Cruz bats third in the DH spot tonight. Tim Tawa cleans things up playing third. Zach Deloach in right in the 5-hole. Austin Langworthy batting sixth and left. Taylor Smith behind the ditch catching tonight, batting seventh. Jackson Counts, first baseman in the 8th spot. And Kevin Kendall rounds things off for the Braves, against the Braves tonight for the Doors and the 9-hole. And they're going against a familiar face, but getting his first start tonight here, Sam, Sean Harney.
Sean Harney last pitched in the first game against Chatham on Sunday. Went 2 2/3, allowing 4 hits, 4 earned runs. A rough one for him. He came into a bad situation with runners on second and third, walked the first batter he saw, and then gave up a grand slam and another 2-run homer after that. During the season, he has a 6.35 ERA, 1-0 so far. Actually picked up the win against Falmouth in that first Falmouth game earlier in the season. 5 2/3 innings pitched on this season. 5 hits allowed, 4 earned runs total, 3 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And he will most likely have the longest outing of his season during his first start here tonight.
Falmouth, of course, coached by Jeff Trundy, starting his 25th year on the Cape and his 21st with the Commodores. Defensively, Jacob Campbell behind the dish catching tonight for Sean Harney. Nick Bruiser gets a start over at first. Jake McKenzie at second. Jimmy Glowenke over at short. Cody Morissette this time gets a start in the hot corner at third. Kyle Hess over in left. Giovanni DiGiacomo in center. And Noah Bridges gets a start in right field. And for the Falmouth team, this offense is really sprung off of one bat here, Sam, Hayden Cantrell.
Cantrell leads the entire league going into this game with a top average 378 as he comes in right now. He also ranks in RBI with 11, and he's second in home runs with 3. This guy seems to be their entire offensive firepower, and he leads it off tonight against Harney.
The Braves in their white jerseys, white pants, navy caps, and the Commodores in their black jersey, gray pants with the black piping and black hats. Harney's first pitch is in the zone for strike one, and we are underway. 6:03, our first pitch. We thank you dearly for joining us on this Saturday evening. Western Division matchup between the Braves and the Commodores. Here's the 0-1 from Harney. Line foul down the left field line, and Harney's count quickly grows to 0-2. Cantrell, like Sam was saying, leads the league in batting average, hitting 378. But that being said, back when these two teams played a couple weeks ago, Cantrell went 0 for 5 against the Bravos.
Yeah, struggled with 2 strikeouts in that game as well.
Here is the 0-2 to Cantrell, fouled right back into the screen. He stays alive for another pitch.
Sean Harney from UMass last season went 3-5 with a 3.27 ERA in 66 innings pitched, striking out 48 and walking 33 during the regular season there.
Here's the 0-2 rather from Harney, has fouled in the screen once again. Cantrell has been putting on quite a show for the Commodores this season, really making the most out of his opportunities.
He's coming off a hot game yesterday against YD in a 4-3 loss for Falmouth. Went 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 2 walks as well.
Another 0-2 here from Harney. This one misses upstairs. Ball and 2 strikes now. And it shows what a difference a year can make. Last summer, Cantrell had just a lowly 174 with only 15 hits. The 1-2 from Harney. Chopped just over Campbell's head. It's going to roll foul. And Cantrell here putting a good at-bat, as he's known for, against Harney to start us off.
And Jake Campbell getting the start behind the plate today is notorious for allowing stolen bases. We saw him allow 4 stolen bases in one game against Orleans in the first game of the doubleheader there. This is Campbell's first start since Chatham.
Our umpires tonight, Rick Emerson behind the plate, Jeff Kinney over at first, and Dan Henry at third, as Emerson gets a new supply of baseballs from the bat boy. And Sam, with the last time these two teams played, we really thought that we saw the explosion onto the scene from this Braves offense, and it just hasn't seemed to be.
And that was a big game for the Braves. They were 0-2 heading into that Saturday matchup and got a big 10-2 victory in a game that really saw the hitting explode. And now, throughout the season, now in our 13th game, that turns to be a little uncommon.
1-2's in the dirt, makes the chalk explode in front of Jake Campbell. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cantrell not afraid to take a walk. Only has drawn 3 so far, 2 of which coming last night. Harney looking in, shakes off a sign, and Campbell and Harney now agree on a pitch. He steps, fires. Here's the 2-2. Chopped right up the middle. Harney's got it with the glove, has to throw, and he throws over the glove of Bruiser. It's going to go off the fence down the first base line. Cantrell will advance to second base, and the Commodores start off with the leadoff man on second. Credit the air to Sean Harney.
Harney got the ball cleanly, and I think the speed of Cantrell over to first hurried him up a little bit on that throw, and it was way wild. What was going to be a certain out number 1, now you put the best player on this team over in scoring position early in this game with no outs in the first.
It always is interesting how no matter what happens, no matter who's on the mound, it's always, you never really know with a pitcher making a full throw over to first base. Harney missed the target there, now has to deal with Blake Dunn. Out of Western Michigan, hitting .250 this season. First pitch, he got him to go around on the check swing. That's in for strike 1.
Dunn during the regular season with Western Michigan batted a high .374, 71 hits on the season with 5 homers and 29 RBIs.
Harney comes set, hands meet in front of the letters. The 0-1 slides back in the zone, heads up on the Commodores bench, flies over their dugout, and Harney yet again has another 0-2 count.
Harney can't let Cantrell over on second bother him. It's a runner in scoring position, but for Sean Harney this early in the game, just has to compose himself and focus on the batter.
Little chatter from the Commodores bench. Here's the 0-2. Misses up and out. Ball and 2 strikes now. And Sam, we were thinking for a lot of today that this game might be called earlier or canceled altogether, but looks like we're missing the storm so far.
The clouds seem to have broken up right when they hit Doran Park. It was for sure going to be a storm, and then it wasn't.
1-2 is down and away. They check over to the first base umpire, Kinney, who is over in the B position next to second base. He says he did not go. Count evens up at 2-2, and maybe it's a sign of better things to come. With all the rainouts we've had this season, Sam, maybe it's nice just to play some baseball.
Yeah, certainly. This is going to be the Braves' second game in a row, and they could have played Thursday, but of course went to Fenway Park. So hopefully tomorrow happens as well, and they'll be on a roll.
2-2, misses up and out off the fastball. Count fills up at 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Harney is in danger of allowing the first 2 players on board here for Falmouth.
And Harney, in his 2 2/3 innings pitched against Chatham in the first game, walked 3 batters. Now, one of those was intentional, but Harney needs to limit the base runners, especially Blake Dunn, who stole 30 bases for Western Michigan.
Cantrell was dancing out there on second base, trying to draw a buck. He actually slipped, and Harney could not get the throw over on target, so he's able to get back in there safely.
That same situation happened last night, except the pickoff move from Nick Domkowski, who was pitching at the time, was able to get the runner from Brewster.
Here's the payoff pitch to Blake Dunn, and it's fouled back off the press box here, off a pole. Count will stay at 3-2. And this is being a very important strikeout here for Sean Harney.
Gets the confidence back after committing an error on the throw, trying to get Hayden Cantrell out. A big strikeout would do great things for Sean Harney earlier in this game.
Harney sets, takes a look at Cantrell. They're going to throw over. It's close over there at second base. It's McKenzie applying the slap tag, but it's not in time. So says Jeff Kinney. And everybody will retake their positions here. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Nobody out here in the top of the first inning between the Falmouth Commodores and the Bourne Braves. The Braves trying to create some separation between them and Falmouth this season as the 3-2 is fouled off yet again. And the pitch count here for Harney is skyrocketing throughout the first 2 batters.
Yeah, this has been a long half of the first so far, and there hasn't even been an out recorded yet.
only through the second batter. The runner on second is Cantrell. He got there off the throwing error from Sean Harney. He takes a peek over at second, now delivers the 3-2, and it misses up and inside, and it's a big walk for Blake Dunn that puts runners on first and second here with nobody out.
And both the runners that are on right now were down to their final strike in the at-bat, with Cantrell hitting it right back to Harney, and Harney committing the throwing error, and that time Blake Dunn making an 0-2 count, a 3-2 count, fouling off a few pitches, and works the walk. The lineup is the scary part about Falmouth. They have the second best batting average in the league, and Harney already struggling through two batters.
Trey Cruz now steps in the 3 spot, hitting .286 this year out of Rice University. Gets his first pitch from Harney and misses down and inside for ball 1. The sun peeking out here, and be nice here for Harney to induce a ground ball. See if the Braves can turn 2 and limit this trouble. Harney gets his sign from Campbell. Comes set and fires the 1-0. And that's in the zone for a strike, and that's a much-needed strike for Sean Harney.
And a good frame job by Jake Campbell behind the plate. Pitch looked a little bit outside, puts it right in the middle, and Harney has a strike on Cruz, the number 3 batter.
Braves dropping last night's game to the Brewster Whitecaps, 2-1. Here's the 1-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Jake Campbell. Count now grows to a ball and 2 strikes. It's the third batter row that Harney's had to 2 strikes. Let's see if he can put him away.
Harney needs to finish off this batter here, getting out on the board, and make it out of this inning unharmed.
Tense moments early in this one. Here's the 1-2. Grounded up to second. There's the double play ball. McKenzie's got it. Takes a while to get out of his glove. He's safe at second. Everybody's safe. The bases are loaded here in the top of the first.
That was a hard-hit ball from Trey Cruz that bounced just a little before McKenzie. He thought about playing it before the bounce. He ended up backing up and waiting for it, and that time allowed Blake Dunn to get over to second safely as the throw was not in time from McKenzie. And now it's the perfect situation for Falmouth. The bases are loaded with the number 4 batter coming up, not even an out recorded yet in the first.
Tim Tawa steps up to clean things up, and he has the opportunity to really put some separation between these two teams. Tawa out of Stanford batting .154 this season, only 13 at-bats. His first pitch finds a zone on the outside corner for strike 1.
And you mentioned it during the at-bat, Jordan, but again, it was a 2-strike count on Trey Cruz, that time getting on with the fielder's choice. But all 3 of these runners on the base paths have been down to their final strike from Sean Harney.
And more importantly, none of these base runners have gone on with a hit. As the 0-1 misses down and away, count evens up to ball 1. It was an error that put Cantrell on second. Blake Dunn was walked after a 3-2 count, and then Trey Cruz got on first via the fielder's choice, and Dunn was able to beat the throw to second. Harney now in dire need of a ground ball. Here's the 1-1. That just misses the zone, perhaps a little outside. The count now at 2 balls and a strike.
And the Braves come into this game with the fewest amount of errors committed around the Cape. So that throwing error, shocking from Sean Harney, as the defense has been the bragging part of this team.
Here's a 2-1 from Harney. Popped up, foul. It looks like it will drift out of play, and the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Trey Cruz.
It's another 2-strike count for Sean Harney. Has to be able to finish against the third baseman Tawa here with the bases loaded. Nobody out still.
Yeah, Cruz over at first, Dunn at second, and Cantrell at third. Tawa, the teammate of the first baseman Nick Bruiser. Here's the 2-2. Fouled once again over into the woods. Tawa for the Cardinal this year batted .253 at 55 hits, 37 RBIs, and a slugging percentage of .410. And he's got Harney up against the wall here. Bases loaded for the Commodores in the top of the first inning. Commodores have played the least amount of games so far out of any team so far this season at only 11. Here's the 3-2. Line to second base. McKenzie's got it. Flips over to second for one. Glewenke's throw is in time for out number 2. However, Cantrell comes around to score, so it's a 1-0 lead for Falmouth.
That was the right decision from Jake McKenzie at second. The throw home was going to be too far, and I don't believe in time to be able to get the speedy Hayden Cantrell, who was, of course, going on that pitch. He ends up getting 2 outs, and now there's just 1 runner on for Falmouth over at third. Sacrifice fly is not available, so right play from Jake McKenzie to sacrifice a run there.
Zach Deloach now steps in, and Blake Dunn moves to third on the double play. 4-6-3 in the book, and it was much needed. The lefty Deloach steps in. Deloach out of Texas A&M, and he calls time. He batted 260, or is batting, I should say, 263 this season for the Commodores. Harney comes set, runner at third. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Deloach's first pitch catches the corner. Nice frame by Jake Campbell, 0-1.
And the pitch count just keeps running up on Sean Hardy. And we mentioned this is his first start. He's had 2 other appearances in relief, but Falmouth really working the counts here against Harney.
0-1 is floated into shallow right field. The first hit of the game produces the second run. Zach Deloach knocks in Blake Dunn from third, and it's 2-0 to Falmouth.
What a different game this is than the first time these two matched up against each other. Bourne scored 10 runs on that game, only 2 allowed to Falmouth, and now Falmouth on top, 2-0 already in the first. And for so many games, Joran, we've seen the game decided in the first 4 innings. This could be the game decided in this one right here.
And absolutely could, especially with how the Braves bats have been struggling. Here's the first pitch to Austin Langworthy. Misses up and out for ball 1. Langworthy so far on the season out of the University of Florida, just 167 out of 24 at-bats so far. Langworthy over in left field tonight as Harney takes a peek over at Deloach at first. Now sets, and he's going to throw over. Close play over there at first base, but Deloach gets back in safely.
And for Falmouth, they're coming off 3 straight losses, so a bad stretch of games for them. They're looking to turn things around here on this Saturday afternoon.
And Brewster came into last night's game winless in 4 games. They lost 3 and tied 1 as the 1-0 misses outside, and now Langworthy has a 2-0 lead over Campbell. 2-0 score here in the top of the first inning. Falmouth over the Bravos. 2 away, though. Harney just needed 1 more out to get out of the inning. He takes a peek over at first, kicks the leg, and fires the 2-0, and it's fouled over our heads and falls in out of play. Count now at 2-1.
Langworthy in the last game against Bourne went 0 for 3 earlier in the season with a walk and a strikeout.
2-1 count to Austin Langworthy. Harney taking his time, and time is called by Langworthy for taking too long.
Harney's taking his time to get adjusted to the starting role.
Langworthy for the Aggies hit 283 this past season, and Harney going to throw over to first base, and they got him! Sean Harney picks off Zach Deloach over at first base. He steals the final out, but not before he surrenders 2 runs off of 1 hit, and nobody left on for the Commodores. The Braves already trailing in this one early. We go to the bottom of the first, 2-0 Falmouth, and you're watching it here on the Braves Baseball Network. Braves down 2-0 in the bottom of the first, but they get their first bats. Their lineup will look like this. Kyle Hess leads things off in left. Jake McKenzie settling into that 2-hole, playing second. Jimmy Glowinski hitting third at short. Cade Beloso cleaning things up tonight in DH. Nick Bruiser, the first baseman, batting fifth. Noah Bridges over in right in the sixth spot. Cody Morissette in the hot corner at third, hitting seventh. Jacob Campbell behind the dish, I should say, catching in the 8th spot, and Giovanni DiGiacomo rounds things out in center at the 9th spot, and they're going against the person only making a second start here tonight, Sam, Franco Ailman.
The rising sophomore from Florida International University. The rising sophomore who's 6'6", 220. The right-handed pitcher had a 3.97 at FIU. Now comes in. This is only the second game he's started this season. The first game was against Chatham on June 12th, where he went 5 innings, only allowing 1 hit, walking 1, and striking out 2 in 16 batters faced. He now makes his first appearance in over 2 weeks in his second start of the season.
He faces Kyle Hess, who's hitting .211 so far on the year. Last time we saw Hess went 1 for 3 with a double against Chatham, and he takes a first pitch strike from Ailman. Kyle Hess scored 2 runs in that game against Chatham on Wednesday, and the 0-1 finds his own, and quickly Hess falls behind 0-2.
Hess in an unfamiliar leadoff spot that's usually occupied by Xavier Warren, who's not playing today.
Warren gets the day off. Morissette takes a spot at third as the 0-2 lined right into the netting in front of the Braves dugout. Heads up down there. The count remains at 0-2.
Well, for the Braves, they already find themselves in a 2-0 deficit. So what did we talk about pregame? We talked about getting runners on and be able to get them home. We'll see if they can do that here in today's game.
Yeah, converting hits into runs. Name of the game right now for the Braves. And the 0-2 is chopped up to Ailman. Let's see if he can make the throw. He does so with a lob over to first base. And it's a quick first out for the Commodores.
Well, I don't think Kyle Hess has the same speed that Hayden Cantrell has. That was an easy ground ball right back to Ailman. He was able to field it cleanly and took his time with the throw. It was a nice, easy throw over to first, and that's the first out of the inning.
Jake McKenzie now steps in out of Fordham University, hitting .250 on the season, 1 for 3 last night in the loss to Brewster with a walk and a strikeout. His first pitch just misses a little upstairs for ball 1. McKenzie, one of only a few returners on this team, including Alika Williams, who's over at Team USA tryouts, and Harry Rakowski. Here's the 1-0. That just misses the zone low, and now Jake McKenzie finds himself up 2-0.
An important count for Jake McKenzie to find a pitch he likes and get on base.
2-0 to McKenzie. Flared into center field. Dunn is on it, and he seems under it and catches it with the left hand for out number 2.
That's 2 quick outs through the first time in this lineup, and we've seen for the Braves throughout the season that the first time up against the pitcher, they don't really seem to do anything. It's usually the second time where they start getting to that starter, the pitch count runs up, the starter gets tired, and Braves start putting runners on the base paths.
Jimmy Glowinski out of Dallas Baptist now steps in for the Braves. .250 on the year, and he looks at a first pitch that misses his own low for ball 1. Went 2 for 4 yesterday. A couple singles, strikeout, grounded into a double play in that loss to Brewster last night, 2-1 score. J-Glow, as the teammates call him. Here's the 1-0, and it slides into the reserve. Beautiful pitch right there from Ailman to even up the count.
Yeah, that was nice. That just curved right into the middle of the zone for Ailman, and that's the first strike of the at-bat.
1 ball, 1 strike to Glowinski. Same pitch, same result. Beautifully slides into the zone. 1-2 now for Jimmy Glowinski to battle back from.
Oh, if I'm Hamlin, I'm throwing that pitch throughout the entire game. That is just so tough to catch up on where it starts and where it ends at.
Looks like it starts in the middle of the hitter's hip and then curves into the zone. The 1-2 fastball down to the first base side, gets past Couts at first base, and the Braves have their first hit of the afternoon. A 2-out Jimmy Glowinski single.
Oh, Glowinski's really starting to turn it on here. Had a great game yesterday, went 2 for 4, and starts out his day with a single to right field. Glowinski is going to be one of the guys that the Braves look to heat up this lineup in the number 3 spot tonight, and he gets tonight started off well with a single.
Now here's Cade Beloso, and he's only been with the Braves for 2 games, but he might have the hottest bat right now, hitting .500, 3 for 6. And last night against Brewster, 2 for 4 with the double and a walk. He is acclimating himself very quickly to this Cape Cod Baseball League, and he takes a first pitch strike from Ailman.
Beloso is probably going to be looked to as the power guy for the Braves, and with only 2 home runs, that's a league worst number. Beloso is going to have to be that guy that provides some oomph in this lineup.
Batting cleanup tonight for a reason. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed on the off speed. Another nice pitch from Ailman, and Beloso very quickly falls behind 0-2. Runner on first is Glowinski. As the Braves hitting started with that 2-out single. 0-2 count to Cade Beloso. Here's the pitch. This curves and misses the zone inside. Ball and 2 strikes now to Cade Beloso. Beloso out of Louisiana State. Just finished up in the Super Regionals with LSU. Hit .279 on the season with 10 homers. 1-2 chopped. It's going to be close to the line. It stays fair. Ailman's got it. He throws on to first and records the final out of the inning. No runs, only 1 hit and 1 left on for the Braves in the bottom half of the first inning. They're trailing this one 2-0 as we head into the top of the second on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded into all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu. Welcome back here to Dorn Park. Austin Langworthy leads us off in the top of the second for the Commodores, and he looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. Falmouth up 2-0 over the Bravos. Loading up the bases on no hits in that top of the first inning. Had an error, a walk, and a fielder's choice. 1-0 is swung on and missed. Count evens up to a ball and a strike.
Langworthy actually had a 2-1 count on him in the first inning before Zach DeLoach was picked off over at first to end the inning.
Here's the 1-1 from Harney. That finds the zone. Good pitch from Harney. Looks like he's settling in there. Now leaves the count 1-2.
Harney needs a big comeback inning here in this top of the second after allowing 2 runs on just 1 hit and loading up the bases.
Here's the 1-2. This one's a waste pitch into the dirt. Misses down and out. Count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to Langworthy. Langworthy out of Florida, hitting .283 this past season. Here's the 2-2. One in the dirt once again. Count fills up to 3 balls, 2 strikes, and just as we think, Harney's settling in here, Sam. He finds himself in a full count.
Throws a quick 2 strikes on Langworthy, and just like that, it's now a 3-2 count. That was the story of the first inning, is getting getting players down to 2 strikes and not being able to get them out.
Here's the 3-2, and it's fouled straight back into the screen. Austin Langworthy, back in 2017, was named to the All-CWS tournament team with the Florida Gators. Knows what it's like to perform in big situations as he flies this one foul down the left field line, lands out of play. Everyone stays put, and we'll do it again at 3-2.
These batters are getting a lot of contact on Harney. Tons of foul balls during these at-bats. It's just bad for the pitch count with Harney up on the mound, and they're getting a lot of contact.
Falmouth working their way through the lineup so far. Six, 7, 8 spots due up in this inning at least. Here's the payoff pitch. Langworthy, and he lets go of the bat. Ball goes foul. We have the bats and the balls going flying so far, Sam, in this at-bat.
Yeah, just couldn't hold on to that one. Flew it all the way back to the backstop. And again, it's another foul ball on Sean Harney. Another at-bat that stayed at 3-2 and continued to move on. Langworthy is putting up a battle.
Yeah, Langworthy gets some much-needed pine tar from Bat Boy for Falmouth. No batting gloves for Langworthy. That's hardcore, Sam.
That is. We saw Henry Davis do that for the Braves yesterday, the catcher.
It's an old-school, gritty type of ball player look. Here's the 3-2 from Harney. Line foul. It's another foul ball. Heads up over in the parking lot as the legions of kids race over to try and pick 3-2 once again.
And Langworthy's all over the place. He's fouled a few back to the back.
Austin Langworthy. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. It's a much-needed strikeout for Sean Harney, his first of the game.
Well, finally, you knew something was going to happen in that at-bat, and Sean Harney retires him with his first strikeout of the game. That was a big at-bat, and for Harney to come out on top should give him a little bit of confidence on the mound.
Here's Taylor Smith, the catcher, stepping in for his first at-bat of the afternoon. Smith out of Grayson County College, batting .200 so far this season. 1 for 5 for the Commodores. Here's the first pitch. Lined. He got in front of it. It's foul down the third base line. A little early on the swing, and he falls behind 0-1.
Smith, a rising sophomore in 2019 in the regular season, batted .322 with Grayson County College. 16 home runs, 57 RBIs.
Here's the 0-1 from Harney. That's into the zone for a strike. Smith thought about going around, decided to pull it back. It's in the zone, and now it's a 2 count once again for Sean Harney.
He starts off another batter the way he wants to. Let's see if he can finish at 0-2.
See if he can capitalize. Here's the 0-2. Curveball that Smith barely gets a piece of. A little check swing that nicks the ball foul, and everyone stays put. It's another foul ball. This is uncanny so far for Sean Harney this season.
Yeah, Falmouth just getting on top of his, just fouling him off, putting up battles in the batter's box against Harney.
Here's the 0-2. Waste pitch misses up and outside. Smith wisely watches it go by. 1-2 count now. Beautiful Saturday afternoon now that the clouds have all cleared away. Sun shines through. Here at Bourne Park, 1-2 from Harney, and it hits him right off the hands. Harney throws a man onto first base here after leading the count 0-2.
Again, a 2-strike count, and Harney puts another runner on. Back in the first inning, when the bases were loaded, every single runner on the base had gotten on with a 2-strike count, and that time it happens again. An 0-2 count from Sean Harney, and he hits Taylor Smith right on the arm. He's headed over to first, and now it's Jackson Counts.
Yeah, Counts. College teammate of pitcher Tyler Broche is at Rhode Island University. Is hitting 357 this season. His first pitch he takes into left field. Back on it is Hess. He's under it and makes the catch with one hand. for a very quick second out and a much-needed quick at-bat there for Sean Harney.
Yeah, I was going to say Harney would love to see more at-bats like that. Couch coming up, swinging at the first pitch and taking it to deep left field with a one-pitch, one-out scenario. Harney loves to see that on the mound. Just has to take care of one more batter, and he's out of the second inning.
Bottom of the lineup now, it's Kevin Kendall. Shortstop out of UCal.
UCLA, Kevin Kendall.
Here's the first pitch to Kendall from Sean Harney. And this is outside for ball one. Runner on first is Taylor Smith, I should say. Got hit by pitch earlier in the inning. Harney taking a peek. Now fires the 1-0. Driven into right field. This will be down for a hit. Bridges plays it on a hop. Smith is going to have to put the brakes on at second base, and it's a loud 2-out single from Kevin Kendall.
He was all over that pitch from Harney. A 1-0 count. He took on a shot to right field that for the Braves had to play on a bounce. That was Noah Bridges in right. But just a very, very hard hit ball. And now it's runners on first and second with 2 outs.
And it's Hayden Cantrell as well, the best hitter average-wise on the Cape this season. Got on and came around to score thanks to an error from Sean Harney. First pitch to Cantrell, lined into center field. That's to Giacomo, who's back on it. He's got it on the run for out number 3. So Harney gets out of the inning without giving up any more runs. No runs off of 1 hit and 2 left on here for the Commodores. We head into the bottom of the second. Braves still trailing 2-0 here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Five, six, 7 spots due up for the Braves. They trail this one 2-0. It'll be Nick Bruiser, Noah Bridges, and Cody Morissette to get us going in the bottom half. And the Braves got a hit back in the first inning, but like we've been saying, Sam, it's about turning those hits into runs.
And this game, by the looks of it, might be a little shaky on the pitching side for the Braves. So for these bats, they really have to heat up early to overcome this 2-0 deficit.
We thank you for joining us here Saturday evening. Beautiful Bourne, Massachusetts. Nick Bruiser gets his first pitch, and it finds a zone for strike 1. Bruiser from Stanford, batting 167 so far in the season. He's only had 6 at-bats. He came in yesterday's game as a pinch hitter. He walked and ended up being the only run scored. Here's the 0-1. That one gets past the catcher Smith, and now the count at a ball and a strike. Bruiser grew up in my neck of the woods, Sam, Chandler, Arizona. Went to Hamilton High School, 2016 Gatorade Player of the Year. Chops the 1-1 over to Ailman. He's getting a lot of work in the field. Throw on to first base is low, but Counts makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, that play was identical to the very first play of the game with Sean Harney giving up a ground ball to Hayden Contrell. Harney with an error over to first, and that time a beautiful throw from Ailman on the mound. He collected himself once he got the ball. Threw it to first in time. I was going to say, if Bruiser's from your neck of the woods, I feel sorry for him.
Chandler's a great area. Noah Bridges now steps in, batting 182 on the season. Looking for his 5th hit. First pitch from Ailman misses up high for ball 1. Bridges, last time we saw him, was back on the 26th. In the game against Chatham, he was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, a hit by pitch, and got caught stealing once as well. Here's the 1-0 from Ailman. Flown out to left field, close to the line, and it's drifting over the fence. It falls foul, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike.
Bridges is a player that he's a temporary player and has survived this long into the process of getting new players in, cutting some players, and Noah Bridges from a smaller school has been able to keep his roster spot for this long and gets the start tonight. He's been really impressing Harvey Shapiro.
Yeah, Bridges from UNC Dub, North Carolina, Wilmington. Here's the 1-1. That's in the zone for another strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. And the story with Bridges is interesting. Basically, family reunions, everyone goes to UNCW. His brother, his father, and his grandparents, all alums of North Carolina, Wilmington. 1-2, swung on and miss. And Bridges goes down on 4 pitches. He strikes out for out number 2.
Tough strikeout, and that's one of Bridges' downfalls this season. That's his 10th strikeout of the season after coming off a 2-strikeout game against Chatham in the middle of the week. Bridges, another strikeout. He's really struggling with that this year.
Cody Morissette now steps in out of Boston College. Batting 143, but had a good game hitting the ball yesterday. It went 1 for 3. However, all three times he hit the balls were hit very hard as he looks at a first pitch strike. Morissette just recently named to the freshman All-American list, according to Baseball America. A lot of different news publications with college baseball. The 0-1 finds his own 0-2 now. Baseball America, D1 Baseball. What are some other ones off the top of your head? You know?
Does Point Street count?
I think it could count. Point Street count, yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5. It's hard to keep track, especially when it comes to rankings. Morissette hits the 0-2, foul. Another souvenir. A lot of souvenirs here tonight at Doran Park as well.
That's good. Good for the fans.
Good for the fans.
It's an impressive showing for a game that almost got delayed or canceled by a storm. You know, I just thought of another one. Cal State Omaha.
Right. That is another one.
That's a publication.
Here's the 0-2. Grounded up the middle. It'll get through for a base hit. Cody Morissette has found new life from the batter's box. He singles here with 2 away in the bottom of the 2nd.
Morissette really on the upswing. Has a single right there after coming off a hit in his last game. And after starting the season rather dismally, he gets on for only the 2nd hit for the Bourne Braves in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Now here's Jacob Campbell out of Illinois, batting 143. He's only 1 for 7 so far on the season. Last time we saw him was in the first game of the Chatham doubleheader last Sunday. He went 1 for 2 with a strikeout, a single, and a walk. First pitch, fouled back into the screen, falls behind 0-1. Campbell's a 36th round pick by the Chicago Cubs in the 2018 draft. He just finished up his freshman season with the Fighting Illini, batted 196 with 2 home runs and 11 RBI. Campbell didn't get a chance to play a whole lot in a 3-catcher system with the other 2 catchers are seniors, especially as a freshman, Sam. You're not going to see a lot of time. Here's the 0-1 from Ailman. This one line foul once again down the right field line this time, and Campbell falls behind 0-2.
And he's looking to get the bat going, too. We saw him come into a very tense situation against Brewster in the last game with 1 out in the bottom of the final inning where he struck out looking. So Campbell's really, out of this summer experience, is just looking to gain more experience heading into his sophomore season with the Fighting Illini.
Yeah, has a very big opportunity here, being one of the permanent catchers on this Braves roster. 0-2, nubbed to the right side. Cantrell, the second baseman, has got it, flips it underhand to first in time for out number 3. The Braves don't score any, have a hit, and leave another person on base. And we're heading to the top of the 3rd. It's Falmouth 2, Braves nothing here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Number 23.
2, 3, 4 spots due up in the top of the 3rd inning. Falmouth with a 2-0 lead over the Braves, despite both teams hitting the same at 2 hits apiece. Dunn walked back in the 1st inning and came around to score thanks to the single from Zach DeLoach.
Harney needs another quick inning here, just beginning his 3rd inning of work. His pitch count already pretty high.
He's faced 5 hitters in each of the first 2 innings. The first pitch to Dunn is fouled back on the screen. Harney has been doing a good job of getting first pitch strikes, Sam, and getting ahead in counts, just has not been able to finish.
Well, just like the Braves offense can't really convert runners into runs,
Right.
Harney can't convert getting ahead in counts into outs. That's been the story of the game so far.
Here's the 0-1 to Dunn. Finds the zone. Harney once again up 0-2. He was up 0-2 against Cantrell and Dunn in that first inning. Both got on and both scored. You would love to see Harney just go right after him here on the 0-2. Here's the pitch. And he does. It's a good pitch. Just missed the zone low. Count now stands at 1-2 strikes.
Dunn thought about it. Didn't really give a full half swing, but a great pitch from Harney on 0-2.
Dunn thought about it, and it looked like Rick Emerson, the umpire, thought about it as well. And the 1-2 bounces about 3 feet in front of the plate. Count now evens up at 2 strikes as Harney passes chest saying, "My bad," to the catcher Campbell. Dunn once again extending the at-bat here. Fell behind 0-2. Now the count sits at 2-2. And he drives this one into center field. Back on it is Giacomo. He's looking up at it, and it is over the fence. It's off the fence. It'll be a ground rule double. Hit off the warning track, bounced over the fence. DiGiacomo puts his hands up to signal that it's over, and it's a leadoff double for the Commodores.
That was driven to the deepest part of the ballpark for Blake Dunn. That ends up getting out on 1 hop, so he gets over to second. Again, that was a 2-strike count. That now he's over on second with a leadoff double, and Falmouth with a beautiful opportunity to add to that 2-0 lead.
And it's Trey Cruz who got on thanks to a fielder's choice in the first inning. Once again, Harney, just like in the first inning, having to deal with a runner on second base with nobody out. Here's the first pitch to Cruz. It's foul tipped into the mitt of Jacob Campbell. It's in for strike 1. Harney in desperate need of an out. Strikeout would be preferable here. He's been doing well at getting ahead into 2-strike counts. L1 grounded to second base. That's Jake McKenzie. He's got it. Shuffle on the first base with the throw is in time. That allows Dunn to advance to third. 1 away with a run sitting 90 feet away for the Commodores.
That's really all Trey Cruz needed to do was just get that runner over in Blake Dunn. to third. That was only the first out. So with Tim Tawa coming up, the number 4 batter for Falmouth, he has a good chance to get a run home just 90 feet away in Blake Dunn.
Tawa 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play, and the infield now come up, playing with just about on the baseline. Will come up to the grass when the pitch is thrown. First pitch of Tawa popped into shallow center field. This will be tough for DiGiacomo. He's running, still running, almost stumbles, makes the catch, and he almost finishes in second base. The runner goes after DiGiacomo was running in with the ball, and he scores. Blake Dunn comes in after DiGiacomo got a little lax with the ball, and it cost them a run. Falmouth now leads 3-0.
DiGiacomo had to do so much running in that ball that was hit to shallow center field that he got it, took a look over at third, and Blake Dunn realized he was staying and then continued to finish out, cooling off that run from deep center field. As he was doing that, Blake Dunn saw that he looked away and charged home. That's great base running from Blake Dunn to realize that DiGiacomo was taking a little break in center field, and it's another run for the Commodores.
Zach DeLoach now steps in. DiGiacomo with the ball fell asleep at the wheel, and Blake Dunn took advantage of it. First pitch to DeLoach, went around the zone. Yes, he did. So says the third base umpire, Dan Henry. DeLoach falls 0 behind, 0-1. Singled in the first inning, which brought home a run. 0-1 misses outside, a ball and a strike, and now the Braves being tasked with something that they've only been able to do once, Sam, has come back from a 3-run deficit.
With Harney with a 1-1 count, 2 outs, I believe Kerry Wright from Louisville is warming up in the bullpen for the Braves. First time we'll see him this season.
Here's the 1-1. It curves, just misses the zone inside. Also maybe a little high as well. 2 balls and a strike now. The count to Zach DeLoach. DeLoach out of Texas A&M. Gets his 2-1. Lines it right to Jake McKenzie. He doesn't have to move anything but the glove to make the catch, and he does so for the third out of the inning. It's 1 run off of 1 hit. Nobody left on for the Commodores. We head into the bottom of the third. It's a 3-run deficit for the Braves, 3-0, and you're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Number 9 kicks us off in the bottom of the second for the Braves. It's Giovanni DiGiacomo stepping in. Braves trail by 3 runs here against division foe, the Falmouth Commodores, and the winner of this game will secure that number 3 spot in the division. Here's the first pitch to DiGiacomo, and it just misses inside for ball 1.
For DiGiacomo, this is a big at-bat for him to come back from a play that was ruled a sac fly in the last inning, but it was a DiGiacomo mental error.
1-0, grounded to short. That's Kevin Kendall. He's got it above his head. Sidearm throw to first base, beats DiGiacomo by a step, and it's another quick out for the Braves.
Now back to the top of the lineup, and Kyle Hess through the second time seeing Ailman. We should see a little more contact, some more hits from the Braves. They've already seen him once, and they can adjust from there.
Has grounded out to the pitcher Ailman in that first at-bat, and Kerry Wright looks to be throwing in the bullpen. We suspect he's probably going to be coming in to work the top of the fourth at least, as time is called on the field. Wareham leads the division with 17 points as we stand right now. Katuitt in second with 14. And the first pitch to Hess is in the zone for strike one. Bourne sitting in third with 10. Falmouth with 9. And Hyannis bringing up the rear with 5. So the winner of this game will get 2 points and secure the third position. Top 4 teams make the playoffs. Here's the 0-1 to Hess. Grounded foul, just misses the third base line, and Hess falls behind 0-2.
And you put the third place Braves over in the East Division. They're in last place by 4 points. That East Division is just so tight right now. Everybody's just beating up on each other in that division.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, Sam, only 3 points separates first from last in that Eastern Division.
You're correct. YD with 17, Harwich with 14. That's the difference between first place and last place.
Here's the 0-2 to Hess. Misses upstairs for ball 1. Braves will have a lot of Western opponents in these next couple weeks, getting to meet Wareham and Katuitt for the first time this coming week. 1-2 misses outside for 2-2. Braves and the Cavaliers were supposed to play last week. However, that game rained out like so many have. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and it's a strikeout for Ailman, and Hess goes down on strikes.
Ailman gave Hess everything he had to offer in that at-bat. Hess got some off-speed and ends up striking out on a high fastball from Ailman. That's only his second strikeout through his 2 2/3 innings so far, and now he faces McKenzie.
Yeah, Hess strikes out for the 10th time on the season, and in steps Jake McKenzie. He squares around a bunt, and that's something you do. He pulls it back, though, but it finds the zone, and he falls behind 0-1. Tawa, the third baseman, playing behind the bag, and it looks like that bunt doesn't faze him too much. He goes back to normal playing depth here. Sometimes that's what you got to do when you're down 2 runs. 0-1, popped into shallow left field right down the line. Langworthy in on it. It goes foul. That doesn't matter. He puts it away for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. This time, no runs, no hits, and nobody left on. We've moved through the first third and enter the second third when we come back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning, and Sean Harney's night has come to an end. He pitches 3 complete innings, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. And Sam, for the first time this season, we see a new face. This pitcher out of Louisville, Kerry Wright.
The right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 235, rising sophomore out of Louisville, was actually selected in the 21st round of the draft last year by the Tampa Bay Rays. He chose to go to Louisville. He was ranked the number 5 pitcher in Florida by perfect game. His numbers at Louisville, he came on as a relief pitcher, didn't have a win or loss decision. We had a 10.61 ERA through 9 1/3 innings pitched, 10 appearances during the season. He had 1 start, 13 walks, 8 strikeouts, and teams batted .235 against him. So he comes on for the first time in the summer for the Bourne Braves.
Louisville, of course, eliminated in the semifinal by the eventual champions, the Vanderbilt Commodores. And it seems like Vandy just has a stranglehold on college baseball. Leading off the inning is Austin Langworthy. Struck out his first time back in the second. First pitch from right here in the Cape Cod Baseball League misses the zone outside for ball 1.
Wright has a pretty big mess to clean up. 2 runs in the first, 1 run in the third for a 3-0 lead for the Commodores.
1-0 misses outside yet again. Count now at 2 balls and no strikes. And big confidence boost it would be for Kerry Wright if he can work a quick inning here, get in and out. Here's the 2-0. Grounded over to second base. McKenzie's got there on a hop. Throw on to first base is in time for out number 1.
Good first batter for Kerry Wright. Only 3 pitches to get that first out off the bat of Langworthy. A pretty easy ground ball to McKenzie at second. He makes the play for the first out of the inning.
Taylor Smith, the catcher, now steps up. 0 for 0. He was hit by a pitch back in the second inning. Stranded on second base. Kerry Wright waiting for him to step in the box. Now, hands in front of the face. Here in the windup, steps and delivers the first pitch, and it just misses the zone inside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That one gets behind Campbell, misses the zone badly. Count grows to 2 balls and no strikes now.
Kerry Wright and Henry Davis, the pitcher-catcher combination, both coming from Louisville, being signed and activated this past week, and Wright getting his first action. Henry Davis played in the game yesterday.
And I'm sure at some point during the season, we'll see Wright throwing to Henry Davis. Here's the 2-0. Popped up, out of play down the left field line, over toward the high school, Upper Cape Technical. Count now 2 balls and a strike. And the weather here has cleared up beautifully in pregame, during batting practice, and infield and outfield. There is fog, very dreary skies, and now it's sunny and very Cape Cod summer picture-esque scene as the 2-1 misses inside. Count now 3 balls and a strike.
You could barely see the trees in the outfield. There was so much fog during batting practice, and just like that, it totally clears up.
Here's the 3-1 to Taylor Smith. It's fouled back over the press box, and count fills up at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Late June, early July, we're approaching, and the wind has certainly died down. It's been a pretty solid temperature this week. I'm surprised.
Yeah, let's see how long it lasts. Rain is forecasted tomorrow. The Braves scheduled to be over in Hyannis. Payoff pitch, chopped up the middle. McKenzie will play it off a hop, throws from behind second base. It's in the dirt, but Nick Bruiser picks it out for a big second out for Kerry Wright.
And that was a great pitch from Kerry Wright. It was inside. He jammed Taylor Smith, who just got some contact on it. A slow chopper right in the center. It carried Jake McKenzie to his right side. He was able to get it and flip it right over to first just in time to be able to retire Taylor Smith for the second out of the inning.
Jackson Couts now steps in. Flew out to left his first time. His first pitch misses the zone down low for ball 1. Counts the college teammate of Braves closer Tyler Brocious over at the University of Rhode Island. Here's the 1-0. This one lined into the right center field gap. Bridges going back on it. He's under it, and he's got it for out number 3. It's a big 1-2-3 inning for Kerry Wright, making his first appearance in the Cape Cod Baseball League. No hits, no runs, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 3-0 Falmouth over the Braves here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Jimmy Glowacki leads us off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 3-0 Falmouth over the Bravos, 3, 4, 5 spots. And real quick, Sam Witterhalf, why don't you take us a trip here around the Cape?
Oh, I'd love to.
Please.
6-2, Brewster on top of YD. That game is in the top of the seventh inning. Two East opponents going at it. Orleans over Harwich in the top of the eighth inning. That's a 3-1 score. Falmouth, of course, over Bourne. That's 3-0. And the big one in the West Division is Cotuit, 9-1 over Wareham. Wareham leads the West. Cotuit is in second, and Cotuit proving to be one of the top teams in this division. 9-1 over Wareham. That game is in the sixth.
Putting a beat down on Wareham over there.
Which is surprising. Wareham with a pretty solid batting average only has 1 run.
Jimmy Glowacki leads us off with a single right up the middle past the shortstop, Kevin Kendall. That's what you need to see if you're the Braves. Leadoff single from Glowacki gets us going here in the fourth.
Just need a few more of those to get runners on base. Cade Beloso coming up, who had a grounder back to the pitcher in his first at-bat, but just some runners on early on in the innings would be great for the Braves and being able to get those runners home.
Beloso has played 2 games so far with the Braves, and he's got a hit in both of them. Looking for his first one in, going against Franco Ailman. See, takes a peek over at first base and fires the first pitch to Beloso. Thought about going around off speed, and it's in the zone for strike 1.
Beloso, a rising sophomore, only 18 years old. Has to be one of the youngest players in this league.
Him and Judge Fabian, 18 years old on this Braves team. 1-0 is grounded to third base, and it just squeezes through right past everybody. Glowacki puts the brakes on second as Langworthy throws the relay throw into Kendall, and it's a back-to-back singles to get us going here in the fourth inning.
Exactly what the Braves need, and that ball actually chased the third baseman for Falmouth off the bag, Tim Tawa, and Glowacki took a look over at third base. Tawa was able to get back to the bag in time, so Glowacki stays over at second. But this is a big opportunity for the Braves. Nick Bruiser coming up with a runner in scoring position, nobody out in the inning.
Runners on first and second for the Braves have an opportunity to make some noise here in this bottom of the fourth inning. Nick Bruiser 0 for 1. Takes the first pitch high. Bruiser out of Stanford University, very highly touted coming out of high school. Just hasn't quite adjusted to the college level pitching and is facing even better pitching here on the Cape Cod Baseball League. For your coaches comparing it all the time to rookie or even single A level pitching as the 1-0 swung on and missed. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And Sam, we've seen all the tweets. The majority of these players in these leagues usually end up getting drafted.
Yeah, of course. It was crazy, actually, during the MLB draft this past year. Just the amount of Cape Cod Baseball League alumni that were drafted in the first, second, third rounds by major league clubs. The scouts come out to these games for good reason.
And they come out in droves as well. Here's the 1-1 to Bruiser. He squares around a bunt. He pops it up. It goes foul, and that eliminates that opportunity. Harvey Shapiro wanted to play a little small ball there, but now it falls by the wayside.
Bruiser couldn't catch up to the 1-0 pitch thrown by Ailman, so he decides to try and drop down a bunt, and he flies it back toward the backstop. Now he's down 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Noah Bridges on deck. Love an opportunity to knock a run or 2 in. Ailman sets. Hands meet at the face. 1-2 is in the zone. Bruiser goes down looking.
That was a pitch on the outside corner from Ailman. Bruiser didn't have anything to offer, and he watches strike 3. Now for the Braves, a double play could end the inning and waste this opportunity. This is exactly what we talk about when we're talking about turning base runners into runs.
Turning base runners into runs scored. Bridges 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the second inning. A base hit would likely score Glowacki over there at second base, who's got some speed. First pitch fouled straight back, right almost into your living room. And Bridges falls behind 0-1.
A big situation for Noah Bridges. Only has 4 hits in the Cape League so far, 1 RBI. He's looking for a clutch at bat.
Bridges has possibly that second RBI sitting over at second base, and his name is Jimmy Glowacki. He grounds this one up the middle. Danger of 2. Cantrell tries to make a Jeter-type throw over to first base. Bridges beats it out. Everybody moves up 90 feet. Bases are loaded here for Cody Morissette.
That was the perfect hit for Noah Bridges right up the middle, and Cantrell got to it. It was a high chopper, but his throw wasn't in time. We know how fast Noah Bridges is, and he gets to first safely. That'll load the bases up for a hot bat in Cody Morissette.
Morissette singled his first time back in the second inning and has the opportunity to put the Braves on the board here in the bottom of the 4th. Braves trail 3-0 to the Falmouth Commodores. Ailman delivers the first pitch here with 1 away, and it finds a zone for strike 1.
Ailman's looking to get anything on the ground from Morissette to ground out into a double play and end this inning.
Morissette has grounded into 2 double plays so far this season. Here's the 0-1. This misses the zone inside. Counting him up at a ball and a strike. Glowacki, the runner, at third. Beloso at second, and Bridges at first. Three singles have the Braves going here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-1, grounded to short. That's Kendall. He flips a second out there. Throw on to first is in time, and it's an ending double play from Cody Morissette. 6-4-3 gets the Commodores out of it. No runs off of 3 hits, 1 left stranded, and we head to the top of the 5th. Commodores still on top of the Braves, 3-0 here on the Braves YouTube channel. Mooncat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. For sales and renters of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit milncat.com, your area cat dealer. Top of the 5th inning, the Commodores still up 3-0 over the Braves. Kerry Wright on the bump for the Bravos. Goes up against the bottom of the order here, Kevin Kendall out of UCLA.
And the Braves leave 3 runners on base in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Again, not turning anything into runs.
First pitch fouled back into the screen for strike 1.
They had 8 hits last night and only got 1 run out of it tonight. It's been 5 hits, 3 of them coming in the past inning, and no runs across the plate just yet.
Yeah, the Braves 8 hits last night, and that loss to Brewster, leaving 9 on base. Here's the 0-1 to Kendall, misses outside. Kendall was the 6th part of that 6-4-3 to end the inning in this last half inning. Made the throw over onto second for the first out. Cantrell was able to make the throw to first in time. 1-1 is fouled off. Counting out a ball and 2 strikes. Kendall 1 for 1 in tonight's game. Singled back in the 2nd inning. Right delivers the 1-2, and it's fouled down the right field line. And for the Braves here, the pitching staff being called on, and it seems like they're being called on every game here, Sam, to really keep the Braves in it.
Harney couldn't produce a good start for the Braves that bring on Kerry Wright to try and maintain just a 3-0 lead for Falmouth.
1-2 misses down and out. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Kevin Kendall.
And the Braves really struggling at home, too. Just 2 of their wins coming here at Doran Park.
Here's the 2-2. It is up and out. Count now fills up at 3-2. Yeah, you mentioned it. 2-4 on the year at home. 1 win was a walk-off against Orleans, and back on Wednesday night against Chatham. 3-3 on the road this season. Here's the payoff pitch to Kevin Kendall. It's in the dirt, skips past Campbell, and it's a leadoff walk for the Commodores.
Commodores put another runner on base to start this inning. That was one thing that Brewster did really well against the Braves last night. 6 out of the 9 innings, Brewster led off with a runner on base, and Falmouth doing the same thing again.
Hayden Cantrell steps back in. 0 for 2. He reached on an air back in the first and scored. Flew out to center his last time back in the second. And right now, working from the stretch, fires the first pitch to Cantrell. And it's in the dirt yet again. Campbell keeps it in front. It's a 1-0 count here to Cantrell.
Cantrell, the league leader with a 3.78 batting average coming into this game. 2nd in home runs with 3, and also 2nd in RBIs with 11.
He's threatening for the Cape League Triple Crown.
He is.
Here's the 1-0. Fouled back into the screen. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. It's a good trivia question. I wonder when the last time there was a Cape Cod Triple Crown winner.
That's a tough one. I'm going to say Mitch Moreland with the Bourne Braves in 07.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-1 to Cantrell. There goes the runner. Kendall Campbell throws on to second base, and Glowacki pulled off the bag because of the throw, and it's another stolen base on Jacob Campbell.
Jackson Kendall got a beautiful start on that pitch from Kerry Wright, and it's another stolen base, like you said, on Jacob Campbell. Behind the dish and a runner in scoring position with no outs for Falmouth, and Cantrell with a 2-1 count.
Two balls, 1 strike, the count to Hayden Cantrell. Kendall, the runner, on second. Cantrell squares to bunt. The pitch misses the zone, and now Cantrell has a 3-1 lead.
This is the count you don't want to have on a hitter like Cantrell with a possible RBI at second.
The 5th stolen base allowed on Jacob Campbell this season. Here's a 3-1 to Cantrell, and it misses upstairs. And runner is now on first and second with nobody out here in this top of the 5th, Sam.
And Blake Dunn coming up, who's already gotten on twice and come around to score twice in this game. Dunn walked in the first inning and doubled in the third. Both times he came around to score, and Falmouth We knew their batting average was good. It was second place in the league, and they are displaying that here. Their lineup doing solid against Bourne.
Back-to-back walks so far in this top of the 5th inning. Corners are coming in to play on the grass, and the middle infielders sit in double play depth. The bullpen is quiet right now. Here is Wright's first delivery to Dunn. It swung on and missed, and it was a big swing from Blake Dunn. He falls behind 0-1.
Dunn's looking for an RBI to come home, and he showed that with a big swing on the first pitch to him. He has 6 RBIs come across the plate in this season so far.
Kerry Wright comes set here, finding himself in a jam. The 0-1 has popped up foul. Now no balls and 2 strikes.
Dunn in third place behind Cantrell with 11 and Cruz with 7 for the top RBI getters on this team.
This Falmouth team does know how to produce a lot of runs. Here's the 0-2 to Blake Dunn, curving, and it's fouled off the check swing back into the netting, and we'll stay here at 0-2. The runner on first is Cantrell. Kendall, the runner on second. Both got on thanks to a walk from Kerry Wright. Here's the 0-2, and it misses the zone low, counting out a ball and 2 strikes. Falmouth leading this game 3-0 over the Bravos. Braves trying to stop the slide they've been on, especially at home. Only 2-4 so far this season. Here's the 1-2. Grounded to third base. That's Morissette. Morissette throws it around the home to second, and the throw not in time at first base, so they get the run at second. Runners on the corners here with 1 away in the top of the 5th.
Morissette fields the ball over at third, decides to not tag the bag, and goes towards second. That throw was in time, and Blake Dunn beating out the throw to first. Any double play starting at third base is going to be tough. Morissette tried to get it done, but they finally get an out on the board, and still a double play opportunity available with 1 out. No runs across the plate yet for Falmouth.
Dunn gets on for the 3rd time tonight in 3 tries, thanks to the fielder's choice. Now it's Trey Cruz. There goes the runner. Fly ball into left field. That'll be Kyle Hess. He's running in on it, and the runner at third base trying to hold up. They have a man off the base at first, and it's going to be a double play. Blake Dunn stole off the pitch. He didn't realize where the ball was, so the Braves were able to deke him out enough to get the double play at first base and are saved from giving up another run in the top of the 5th inning. It's still a Falmouth 3-0 lead, however, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th with the Braves Bass looking to get started here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Jacob Campbell, Giovanni DiGiacomo, and Kyle Hess due up here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Braves. They are out hitting the Commodores 5-3 right now, but trail 3-0. in this Western Division matchup. Only the second Western team that the Braves are going to be playing so far this season. The only other team was the Commodores earlier this season. Braves won that game 10-2, and Campbell goes around on the first pitch. It was off speed, way out in front, and he falls behind 0-1.
Campbell just needs some confidence at the plate. You saw that first swing just looked very unsure. He has one hit on the season, just needs a little bit of confidence to get his groove going.
0-1 pitch. It's that slider from Ailman. Curves right into the zone. Count now at 0-2. That's a beautiful pitch there from Ailman.
Ailman's been working that breaking ball so well throughout this game, and Campbell, as so many Braves hitters, just can't really tell where the ball is going.
Here's the 0-2 to Jacob Campbell. Grounded over to third. Moving in on it is Talwal. Throw on to first base is a little high, but Coots adjusts to it, and it's a quick out, number 1.
Ailman's had 3 strikeouts in this game, but he's been able to get the Braves to ground out and fly out so many times through his 4 and now a third innings pitched. Braves have been getting contact. They're just going right to the Falmouth defense.
Giovanni DiGiacomo now steps in, grounded out to short his last time. Here's the first pitch to DiGiacomo, and that's in the zone for strike 1.
No arms warming up in the Falmouth bullpen either, I don't believe. So Ailman still has a little while to go.
0-1 pitch to DiGiacomo is in the dirt. Count now at a ball and a strike. DiGiacomo, no batting gloves. Lefty on righty matchup here. Here's the 1-1. This one fouled off of DiGiacomo's bat after it took a bounce in the dirt. Count now at a ball and 2 strikes, and DiGiacomo in danger of striking out.
DiGiacomo, who doubled in yesterday's game, just looking to get on base for the first time here tonight.
DiGiacomo, drafted by the Pirates, played in the Cal Ripken Summer League last season. 1-2 is fouled off. Takes a bounce off of Upper Cape Tech, and the count stays put at a ball and 2 strikes. 3-0 score here at Doran Park between the Commodores and the Braves in the battle for third place. 1-2 is up and out. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braves currently sitting on 10 points. The Commodores on 9. So whoever wins this game will go ahead and jump to that third position. Katuitt, as the last time we checked, was beating up on the division leader, the Gateman. 2-2 pitch, half swing from DiGiacomo, little roller to second base. That's Cantrell. He's got it, and throw on to first is in time to retire DiGiacomo for the second out.
Braves have not been able to hit the ball solidly really all game, but despite their 5 hits, all of their outs have been basically just like that from DiGiacomo, a slow rolling ground ball over to second base. Ailman is doing a solid job of getting ground outs and fly outs through this Braves lineup.
Kyle Hess now steps in, looks at a first pitch that misses the zone. Ball 1. Hess 0 for 2 so far tonight. Grounded out to Ailman on the mound and struck out swinging his last time in the third inning. He lines this one foul down the left field line. And count now evens up at 1-1. Braves have been treading around 500 mark all season long. 2-0 pitch. In the zone, that breaking ball again from Ailman. He's had it in total command here tonight.
And this is just such an important 2-game stretch with Falmouth tonight and Hyannis tomorrow.
2-1 pitch, chopped right back up to Ailman off the plate. Ailman with the easy throw onto first base, and that does it for the bottom of the 5th inning. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Franco Ailman and the Falmouth Commodores. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We head to the top of the 6th when we come back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top of the sixth inning, 3-0 scored for the third time. We're going to see a new pitcher here tonight. It's Nick Iverson out of Gonzaga, Sam.
The only pitcher from Canada as well, from Oakville, Ontario. He's seeing action in his fourth game so far in the Cape League, and through his 3 games that he's pitched in, has a 2.07 ERA, throwing 4 1/3 innings, only allowing 2 hits in his outings, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, and just walking 1 batter. The last game he appeared in was the first game against Chatham on Sunday in that doubleheader. Pitched 1 inning of scoreless baseball, just allowing 1 walk in that appearance. So he comes in to face Falmouth in the top of the 6th inning, with Falmouth with a 3-0 lead right now.
And Kerry Wright's first appearance goes down as a successful one. 2 innings pitched, no hits, no runs. He walked 2 and did not strike out any, but most importantly, did not give up any run, kept the damage at 3-0, and Nick Iverson being brought on to do the same. He's going to face the 4, 5, 6 spots of this Commodores lineup as the umpire signaling to the Falmouth side, that's Rick Emerson, to get the players inside the dugout. Don't want him hanging around by the dugout. Might get hit by a foul ball. The first pitch from Iverson misses downstairs for ball 1. Sam, you mentioned Iverson only has given up 1 run so far this season. And the 1-0 pitch is in the zone for strike 1.
This is going to be a tough part of the lineup to face, too, with Tawa, Deloach, and Longworthy, 4, 5, and 6.
1-1 pitch grounded through the hole on the right side. McKenzie and Bruiser could not get there. Bridges has it, and it's a leadoff signal for the Commodores.
Tawa goes opposite field right in the gap where McKenzie and Bruiser were leaving open on the right side of the infield. Squirts through over to right field where Bridges was playing, and that is another leadoff runner for the Falmouth Commodores. That's 4 of the 6 innings they started off with a runner on.
Now it's Zach Deloach for the Commodores. Gets his first pitch, and he lines it into left field. It's right at Kyle Hess, though. He makes the catch with a leap. Acrobatic play from Kyle Hess for out number 1.
Well, he protects himself there from a mistake. He read it wrong, and right off the bat, he started moving in, quickly realized that it was going over his head, backed up a little bit, jumped up, and made the play. It's a lucky out for Kyle Hess in left field.
Austin Langworthy now steps in. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Here's the first pitch from Iverson, and that just misses the zone outside for ball 1. Langworthy looking to get his night started here against the Braves, and Iverson hasn't made any contact go, and the runner goes, but this pitch fouled off the light pole, heads up, counting out a ball and a strike.
We've seen a couple hit and run situations put on by Falmouth. That time they do it again with Tawa on first and Langworthy in the box, trying to protect themselves from any double plays with 1 out in the top of the 6th.
And it's quite obvious to see that these teams think they have a beat on catcher Jacob Campbell. Here's the 1-1. Runner stays put this time, and the pitch is in the zone. Ball and 2 strikes. Tawa on the season has stolen 2 bases, has not been caught yet. Here's the 1-2 pickoff move over to first base, and Tawa's back in time with the slide. 3-0 Commodores over the Bravos. Here in the top of the 6th inning, after a slow start, we are quickly zooming through this one. The Braves bats still have yet to get started, even though they've hit the ball 5 times. No runs. Here's the 1-2. Misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the count to Austin Langworthy.
Right before that, Iverson turned around and threw it over to first. There was 1 pickoff in this game back when Sean Harney was on the mound. Picked off Zach Deloach over at first.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Austin Langworthy. It's another pickoff move over to first base. And Tawa back in plenty of time. Iverson will step back on the mound, and we'll do things here at 2-2 with 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. Iverson sets and now fires the 2-2, and it's chopped down the third base line. It's going to roll foul, and everyone will have to go back to their spots and start again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The pitching struggling in this game for the Braves. 4 hits allowed, 3 runs. Pitching coach for the Braves, Ace Adams, the former head coach for Falmouth back in the mid-90s. Coach Darren Erstad, a future, at that time, World Series champion in 2002 with the Angels.
Here's the 2-2. Popped foul. And the Commodores hitting core tonight has done a very nice job not going down easy in their at-bats.
They've been protecting the plate with 2 outs. We mentioned the amount of base runners with 2 strikes in the at-bat. And Langworthy not shying away, protecting the plate with 2 strikes on him.
2-2 to Austin Langworthy. Runner goes. Throw on from Campbell, and he is safe by a mile. Tim Tawa takes second base on Jake Campbell, the second stolen base tonight, and now a runner on second here with a 3-2 count on Langworthy.
Well, you love it when your cleanup batter has the speed to steal a base, and Tawa shows his speed. He had been running on a few pitches before, and it was a ball 3 pitch from Iverson. He was able to get second, now 3-2.
Here's a payoff pitch to Austin Langworthy, and it's in the dirt. It's a walk from Nick Iverson. Runners now on first and second base, and it'll be for the catcher, Taylor Smith, and Jake Campbell calls time and wants to go talk to his pitcher.
That's the 4th walk suffered by the Braves in this game. Another runner on for Falmouth. Still 1 out as McKenzie and Glowenke playing pretty closely by the second base bag, but not looking good for Iverson on the mound.
Only a ground ball away, and that's exactly what Taylor Smith did last time. He grounded out to Jake McKenzie over at second base. Runners on first and second with 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. That one in the dirt. McKenzie having to move into the other batter's box to stay in front of that one. He did so nicely. 1-0 the count.
Iverson has to control his pitches with runners on first and second. A pass ball or wild pitch could put 2 runners in scoring position instead of just 1.
Here's the 1-0. That one misses inside. Count now at 2 balls and no strikes. Iverson having some trouble finding the zone here in his first inning of work. Only has recorded 1 out so far. Bullpen for the Braves has been quiet and remains to be.
That walk on Langworthy was just Iverson's second walk suffered this season. So the location issues are certainly uncommon of him in his 4th game he's appeared in.
Yeah, absolutely unusual. Here's the 2-0. Misses the zone outside. Now falls behind 3-0 to Taylor Smith. Smith 0 for 1. He got hit by a pitch in the second, then grounded out to second in the 4th inning against Kerry Wright. His 3rd time up, and it's his 3rd pitcher he's facing. Here's a 3-0. And misses the zone low. Back-to-back walks. This one on 4 pitches, and the bases are juiced here on the top of the 6th for the Doors.
Another bases-loaded situation for Falmouth. Last time they had that was in the 1st inning where they scored 2 runs to take an early lead on Bourne, and now another opportunity for them with just 1 out, and Coates coming up with, he's 0 for 2, and Ace Adams will have a meeting with Iverson on the mound.
Yeah, Ace Adams comes up to talk to his pitcher, try and settle him down. Bases loaded, but the double play opportunity is still on, and it would be much needed for the Braves.
Adams probably best known in the Cape for coaching. Darren Erstad was just put in the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame last year. When I was talking with Ace Adams about Darren Erstad, said that Erstad was a employee of the month at the department store that he worked at in Falmouth.
First pitch to Jackson Couts, and that's finally in the zone. Iverson finds a strike here, leads 0-1. Darren Erstad went on to, like you said, win a World Series, have a very successful career up in the bigs. Here's the 0-1. Just misses inside. Counting was up at a ball and strike. And it's funny the amount of odd jobs that players and interns will be working so far this summer.
I'd say the most common would be grocery store. you'd think.
Grocery store, golf course as well.
Golf course, yep.
A lot of maintenance jobs. Here's the 1-1. Grounded right back up the middle. Here's that double play ball. McKenzie to Glowinski at second. Throwing the first in time. And Nick Iverson gets himself out of a bases loaded, 1-out jam and does not give up a run here in the top of the 6th inning. We head now to the bottom of the 6th with the Braves offense still trying to light that fire. They trail 3-0, and you're watching it here on the Braves Baseball Network. Bottom of the 6th, the Braves trail 3-0. It's Jake McKenzie, Jimmy Glowinski, and Cade Beloso due up, Sam. Arguably the strongest part of this Braves lineup.
Strongest part of this lineup, but so far they've been held in check by Franco Ailman. Such a solid start as he back on the mound to begin his 6th inning of work. 5 hits allowed, no runs so far. He struck out 3 batters on the Bourne Braves side. Braves just haven't been able to get anything going.
Kenzie 0 for 2 so far tonight. Couple flyouts. First pitch. Popped up foul. Back over the netting here. Falls behind 0-1. Franco Ailman has pitched a gem so far tonight for the Commodores. 5 innings pitched so far. Only 5 hits. And he throws a strike to McKenzie here. Now he leads at 0-2.
McKenzie's still looking for his first hit of the ball game. Gets the start at second base today. Looking to spark this lineup.
And he looks at strike 3. Jake McKenzie goes down on 3 pitches. He walks back to the dugout, shaking his head, disagreeing with home plate umpire Rick Emerson, but it's out number 1 nonetheless.
It was a pitch that was on the outside corner, but McKenzie knows that with 2 strikes, he has to protect the plate. Doesn't like the call, but he goes down for the 3rd time. And now it's Glowinski. Glowinski is a guy that can get this rally started. 2 for 2 so far. He's got 2 of the 5 hits. He's seeing the ball well today.
Best hitter so far for the Braves, and he looks at strike 1 off speed. Glowinski out of Dallas Baptist. And Ailman gets his sign. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball. It takes a hop over the first baseman. Counts, and Glowinski's on for the 3rd time tonight. 3 singles for Jimmy Glowinski, and this has quickly turned into his best game of the season.
Right down the first base line, it looked like Couch was going to be able to get it on a diving effort, and it just skips a little above his head and gets into right field. Another single for Jimmy Glowinski. That's the spark that the Braves need to get a runner on with 1 out with Cade Beloso coming up.
Beloso, he's 1 for 2, a ground out and a single. That single coming back in the 4th inning. It's when Glowinski and Beloso led off the fourth with back-to-back singles. Here's the first pitch from Ailman, and that just misses the zone inside, ball one.
Again, the hops on this field, we know that this field has endured a lot with the weather, but it just seems like ground balls that are hardly hit take a little bit of a different bounce there, and Couch just couldn't keep up with it.
Here's the 1-0 to Beloso, and it catches the zone. A ball and a strike now, and we've been talking with a lot of the grounds crew. Quinn Stebbins, an intern here with the Braves, chief among them, talking about how they take care of this field. And they said the high school here, Upper Cape Technical, pretty much redid the entire infield about a week or two before the season. The 1-2 is grounded up the middle. Could be two. Kendall flips to Cantrell for one. Throw on to first. Beats Beloso by a step. And that is the inning. It's another double play for the Braves that run them out of the bottom of the sixth inning. No runs, one hit, nobody left on for the Braves. We head into the final three frames now. It's 3-0 Falmouth over the Bravos, and you're watching it here on the Braves Baseball Network.
Number 7 from UCLA.
Top of the seventh inning, 3-0 Falmouth over the Braves. And let's get a little update from our tour guide here. Sam, what do we got around the Cape?
Yeah, of course, couple games right now about to go final. Brewster over YD. That game is in the bottom of the ninth. It's a 7-4 lead for Brewster.
Kevin Kendall steps in. He looks at a first pitch strike from Nick Iverson.
Wareham and Katuitt in the top of the eighth right now. 9-2 lead for Katuitt.
0-1 is outside. Count evens up at a ball and a strike.
I like this back and forth.
Yeah.
Jordan, 5-1 lead for Orleans over Harwich. That game has been final. And in the bottom of the third inning, Chatham is over Hyannis.
Yeah, 2-0 in that one. And the 1-1 misses outside to Kendall. 2 balls and a strike. Kendall out of UCLA.
A lot of interesting matchups tonight, Jordan. You got the top two teams in the West facing off against each other.
2-1 skied out to shallow left field. Bermuda Triangle action. Kyle Hess with a slide. Could not get to it. The ball bounces harmlessly to the ground and out of play. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Luckily, that ball was foul, so it goes as a hard hit strike. But as I was saying, the top two teams in the West facing each other, the third and the fourth teams in the West facing each other. You got the best team in the league in Chatham right now. They're record-wise. They're one of the top teams in the league against the worst team in the league, Hyannis. So it's an interesting night. Good matchups on Saturday.
And then you have a random Orleans versus Harwich game that's already gone final from White House. Eastern Division matchup. A lot of good teams all over this league, not only in the East Division. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Kendall. Pop up, and it's on the third base side. Cody Morissette is calling for it, drifting over, and he makes the catch for an easy out number 1.
That's what Iverson likes to see. Didn't throw too many pitches in that at bat. A 2-2 count. Got Kendall to fly out in the shallow infield to Morissette for the first out of the inning.
Hayden Cantrell now steps in, and we've mentioned his name a few times tonight. We all know he leads the league in average and is only a couple behind in home runs and RBIs. And first pitch, he swings and foul tips it back into the glove of Campbell for strike 1. Cantrell on the night, he is 0 for 1. Actually, excuse me, 0 for 2. He reached on air in the first, flew out in the second, and then walked in the fifth. 0-1, slides right into the zone. Good off-speed pitch from Iverson, and he leads 0-2.
Just like the first game against Falmouth, where Cantrell went 0 for in that game, he's also been held in check pretty well in this game so far.
Here's the 0-2. Flown out into shallow left field. Kyle Hess on the run, and he's got it easily for out number 2. And it seems, Sam, Nick Iverson, after that sketchy 6th inning, has really settled into his zone here in the 7th.
There's only been one 1-2-3 inning for these Braves pitchers against the lineup of Falmouth. That was back in the 4th inning with Langworthy, Smith, and Couch going down in order. And Iverson's hoping to repeat that in this inning.
Here's Blake Dunn for the Commodores, and he looks at strike 1 on the breaking ball there from Iverson. Dunn is 1 for 2 so far in today's game. He's reached base all 3 times, walked in the first, doubled in the third, and he looks at a pitch. Just missed the zone there. Looked like pretty similar pitches. Won the count. 2 runs scored for Dunn, and he got on base off of
mixing up his off-speed stuff with his fastball. With Blake Dunn has him down 1-2. We'll see what Iverson gives him with this count.
Iverson takes a breath, now fires the 1-2 pitch, off speed, floated down the right field line. It'll land foul and take a hop over the fence with Bridges on the run. Counting out a ball and 2 strikes.
Bridges with a lot of speed over in right field, just couldn't catch up to it in a ball that was going foul, but a great amount of effort over in right field from Bridges.
And that weird area over in right field still needs a nickname, that right field area. Here's the 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says Jeff Kinney over there at first base. Close pitch. The Braves dugout wanted it, and so did manager Harvey Shapiro. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It was close. I think it was the right call. I believe he held up in time, but Iverson was still with a 2-2 count, has to finish.
Here's the pitch. It's a foul ball. It was off the glove of Jacob Campbell. If he held on to it, it would have been strike 3. Instead, now Blake Dunn gets another chance here at Life.
This is what Falmouth has been doing all game. Down with 2 strikes in their at-bat, they've been able to foul off pitches and remain in the at-bat. We'll see what Dunn can do. 2-2.
2-2 pitch at Dunn as he chokes way up on the bat. His hands almost toward the middle part as a fan makes a nice catch over on the right side of the field. Gets some applause. Count stays put at 2-2. Here's another 2-2 pitch to Dunn. Line drive, and it's a single. Blake Dunn has been all over the Braves so far tonight. He's been up 4 times, and he's been on base all 4 times with a 2-out single here in the 7th.
The discipline by these Falmouth hitters in this game has just been so impressive. Another 2-strike count hit, and Dunn gets on with a 2-out single. That brings up the 3rd batter in Trey Cruz, who's hitless tonight.
Cruz 0 for 3. And he's been all over the board. Only needs a strikeout to complete the 0-for cycle. He's had a fielder's choice, a ground out, a fly out. All he's missing is that strikeout. First pitch to Cruz misses down and away, 1-0. Cruz the DH tonight. The sun begins to set here. In right field, usually it's pretty tough to see through the sun, being able to track the ball as Iverson throws back to first base. Light shining here at Dorn Park on this Saturday night. Runner goes. Pitch to Cruz is a fly ball into left field. 2 outs. Kyle Hess over in left field makes the catch for out number 3. So Iverson gives up the single, but that's all he does give up. It's no runs off of the 1 hit and 1 left on. It's stretch time here at Dorn Park. The Braves still chasing those 3 runs they gave up in the first 3 innings. And it will be a new pitcher for Falmouth. We'll talk about it when we come back here in the bottom half of the 7th inning on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
last outing was against YD, where he only threw a third of an inning, allowing 1 hit, 1 run, 1 strikeout, and 2 batters faced. He comes in with a 15.42 ERA in his 2 games, only throwing 2 1/3 innings. So far, struggling so far, but comes on in relief to silence the Braves, as Ailman did through his 6 innings.
And Alstrom looking at this as a bounce-back appearance as he faces Nick Bruiser and fires the first pitch low for ball 1. Bruiser 0 for 2 so far, a ground out and a strikeout. And then Alstrom, the lefty, fires the 1-0 pitch to Bruiser, and it misses the zone, ball 2. Now to the man out of Stanford University.
Alstrom at Oregon had a 3.93 ERA, a 5-7 record, and 73 1/3 innings pitched, 61 strikeouts, just 20 walks.
Here's a 2-0 to Bruiser. Takes that pitch, and it's Alstrom's first strike as Alstrom not happy with the mound. And his plant foot kind of getting slipped up over there. That looks to be a little bit of a hole. Tries to even it out with his foot. 2-1 to count to Nick Bruiser. And here's the pitch from the lefty Alstrom. Foul straight back into the netting. And the count now stands at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Sam, we know for Bruiser, had some problems with the strikeout already. Only a 7 at-bat, struck out 5 times.
A tough start for him in the Cape League. We know how good he was coming out of high school. Has struggled a little bit at Stanford. Now just needs 1 good at-bat here in the bottom of the 7th.
Here's the 2-2, breaking ball. And Bruiser does a nice job to adjust to it. Nubs it foul right off the very end of the bat. Count stays at 2-2, and the Braves looking for some offense here. Got 6 hits on the board, and it's almost a carbon copy game from last night, Sam, where we've seen a lot of hits, just not a lot after that. Here's the 2-2. Line drive into center field. This will do it if you're looking for hits. It's a leadoff single from Nick Bruiser. Done. The center fielder has it on a hop and relays it in. And Nick Bruiser getting things going here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
That's what the Braves have to do. They lead off the inning with a runner on base. Bruiser shows discipline with a 2-ball and 2-strike count. Gets a pitch he likes that was inside and turns around on it. Puts a ball in center field. Good enough for a single. And that'll bring up Noah Bridges, who already has a hit in this game.
Yeah, Bridges singled his last time up back in the 4th inning. He beat out a throw from behind second base by Hayden Cantrell. Showing off that speed. Here's the first pitch to Bridges, and he looks at a strike, as Rick Emerson taking his time to call that one.
It's tough to believe, but the Braves winning the hit battle in this game. They have 7, Falmouth only with 5.
Third baseman Tawa playing on the infield grass, guarding against the bunt with Bridges' speed. Here's the 1-0 to Noah Bridges. Swung on and missed, and now the count quickly goes to 0-2. And some confusion because the scoreboard incorrectly showing the count of the ball and a strike. And Rick Emerson verbalizing a 1-1 count, then quickly correcting his mistake at 0-2. Make no mistake, count is no balls and 2 strikes to Noah Bridges. Alstrom, the southpaw, comes set. And now looks at the other southpaw in the box, Noah Bridges. The pitch kisses off the dirt. Count at a ball and 2 strikes now.
2-strike waste pitch from Alstrom. Noah Bridges doesn't bite for it. Has to swing at anything close here with 2 outs and avoid that double play. It's been so deadly to the Braves in this game.
Here's the 1-2 to Bridges. Breaking ball, and it's in the zone. Bridges fooled by that one. That's a knee buckler from Robert Alstrom, and it's out number 1 for the Braves.
And that was the right pitch to give Bridges down 2 strikes. A breaking ball that got right in the zone retires Bridges, who expresses his displeasure heading into the dugout for the first out of the inning, and now a double play ends it.
And it's Cody Morissette. The last time he was up, he grounded into a double play. Bases were loaded back in the 4th inning. Before that inning-ending double play. 1 for 2 so far, and he's hitting the ball a lot better the last couple games. First pitch to Morissette is a breaking ball that finds the zone for strike 1. Paints the black on the outside corner.
A double play has ended the inning two times for the Braves in this game, and Morris is hoping to not repeat what he did in his last at-bat.
Here's the 0-1 to Morissette, another breaking ball, and he chops this one foul down the first base line before it comes to rest. And Morissette very quickly falls behind 0-2.
He was way ahead of it on that 0-1 pitch from Ahlstrom, a great pitch that was way off speed. Morissette just gets a bat on it. Now he's down with an 0-2 count.
Morissette with 10 strikeouts on the year, trying to avoid his 11th, and we're going to have a quick mound visit. And the trainer's going to come out, and they're going to take a look at Robert Ahlstrom. He looks fine.
Not sure what he had happen in that last pitch. It's a meeting with the manager and the home plate umpire, and the trainer also coming out as well.
And it looks like it was initiated by home plate umpire Rick Emerson, who came out and wanted to look at him, and it looks like he's all right. Both the trainer and pitching coach Mike Landry walk back to the dugout satisfied.
Well, that gives Morissette a little more time to think about what could possibly be coming here from Ahlstrom, get his thoughts together, and calm himself down, awaiting an 0-2 pitch.
Normally when that happens, you might see some finger blisters off of gripping the seams too hard. Might produce a little bit of blood, but it doesn't seem to be the case here with Ahlstrom now. Everybody resets. We have an 0-2 count here against Cody Morissette with one away in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch fouled straight back into the screen. Morissette just missed it. Count stays at 0-2.
Morissette seems pretty relaxed at the plate here, down 0-2. He defends on that pitch, now has to see another one from Ahlstrom.
Runner on first is Nick Bruiser. Single to start off the inning. The 0-2 misses down and outside and evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good waste pitch from Ahlstrom outside. Morissette doesn't bite at it. Stays in the at-bat. He's down 1-2.
Yeah. Count at 1-2. Morissette trying to get it to 2-2. Pitch from Ahlstrom. Nub down the third base line. Tough play for the pitcher Ahlstrom. He's got it down the line. Throw on to first base is in time. Bruiser moves up to second base, but there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, Morissette was hoping for that ball to maybe go a little farther, so he had enough time to get over to first. Bruiser moves over to second, but he would only be the first run out of the 3 that Bourne has to come back from, but it'll be a pinch hitter and Judd Fabian coming out for Jake Campbell.
You're absolutely right. Judd Fabian steps in, and it'll be interesting to see. You'd imagine probably Jackson Greer, who was just activated, might come in to catch in the bottom half of the inning, depending on how it goes. He's putting on the gear right now, so that should tell you all you need to know. Judd Fabian, looking at his numbers on the year, has only been here for a couple of games. He went 0 for 4 last night in the loss to Brewster. Controversially had the ball pop out of his glove, which turned into a home run call. He gets his first pitch, and it's just misses the zone, ball 1. So Jacob Campbell's night has come to an end. 0 for 2. A couple ground outs. Now it falls on Judd Fabian to try and get the offense going. A base hit likely scores Bruiser, standing on second base, and we have time called.
And for Jackson Greer, who's getting up in the on-deck circle, this will be his 3rd Cape team he's played for.
1-0. Grounded to shortstop. That's Kendall. He's got it on the run. Takes a few steps. Sidearm throw onto first base is in time for out number 3. So the Braves, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base. That's Nick Bruiser, are running out of outs. We end at the top of the 8th. Falmouth still have the lead over the Bravos, 3-0 here on the Braves Baseball Network. Coming down to the final couple innings here, top of the 8th from Dorn Park, and it's 3-0 Falmouth over the Bravos. And Nick Iverson's night has come to an end, and after a shaky start, it ended up being a successful appearance. 2 innings pitched, only giving up 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts, but he kept the lead at 3-0. And we have someone on the mound looking for a bounce-back performance here, Sam. It's J.P. Woodward.
No, he really is looking for a bounce-back performance. He got his first start of the season in the doubleheader against Chatham on Sunday. The first game, he threw only 1 1/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit, but 4 earned runs on 4 walks and 1 strikeout. His ERA coming into this appearance is 21.60. In 2 games he's appeared in, has an 0-1 record. Only has thrown 1 2/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, 4 earned runs, striking out 2, and walking 6. And he is looking for a big bounce-back performance in this 8th inning.
And you know the last time he pitched before the Chatham game?
Falmouth?
Yeah, it was against Falmouth at Falmouth. He only threw a third of an inning, and Tim Tawa, who steps in for his 4th at-bat, looks at ball 1. Tawa so far on the game is 1 for 2, and the 1-0 is fouled up into the screen. Tawa grounded into a double play in the first, had a sac fly RBI in the third, and singled, and later stole second back in the 6th inning. Here's the 1-1 to Tim Tawa. And it's in the zone, strike 2, right at the knees. Tawa looks displeased about it, but it caught the zone for strike 2.
Woodward's last start was against Chatham, and a team he grew up watching, grew up around the Chatham field.
And the 1-2 just missed the zone, count now at 2-2.
A special start for him that completely went the wrong way. It was a cool experience for him to start at the field where he grew up watching Chatham play.
2-2 pitch, breaking ball, got him swinging, and it's a good start after that Chatham appearance, Sam, getting the first outs via the strikeouts here on the top of the 8th.
That's only the second batter that has struck out for this Falmouth lineup. The other was Langworthy back in the 2nd inning. A big start to this inning for J.P. Woodward. Just the 2nd strikeout in tonight's ballgame.
Zach Deloach now stepping in for the Commodores. Deloach so far on tonight's night, 1 for 3, an RBI single in the first. He takes the first pitch right to second base. That's Jake McKenzie. He's got it. Throw on to first base, beats Deloach by a step, and it's a quick second out for Woodward.
This is the quick inning that we haven't seen all game for Bourne. There's only been 1-2-3 inning back in the 4th inning. And Woodward is looking to put all batters down in order in the top of the 8th and get Bourne back on the offensive side and try and come back from a 3-0 deficit.
Austin Langworthy now steps in, and he looks at a first pitch strike right on the black. And J.P. Woodward has looked in control and in command in this 8th inning. Langworthy 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. And the 0-1 misses outside. Count evens up to a ball and a strike. Woodward coming out of Lafayette. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, and Woodward has a 1-2 count, and he's working very efficiently here in the top of the 8th. 1-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, almost got him to go around. Langworthy thought about it, just missed the zone outside. Count evens up to 2-2.
Well, this is the most in control any Bourne pitcher has looked. J.P. Woodward looking to put all batters down in order.
2-2 pitch, ground ball to first base. Bruiser's got it, and he'll touch first himself. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for J.P. Woodward. Talk about bounce back, and that's it right there. No hits, no runs, nobody left on. Braves only have 6 offensive outs left to go. They got to make up 3 runs in just 2 innings, and they'll look to start here in the bottom of the 8th inning when we come back here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the 8th inning, and it'll be a new at-bat here for Jackson Greer. He's turned into the journeyman this season across the Cape Cod Baseball League. 3 teams. He started the season with Harwich, moved to YD, and now is getting at-bat here with the Bravos.
Yeah, he's been given 3 opportunities and now is looking to make the best out of this Bourne opportunity. He's coming from East Tennessee State University, 6'2", 225 pounds. And the Braves get their first look at him with this at-bat in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Greer batted 4 for 10 with a home run with Harwich. And his first pitch grounds foul over the head of the ducking Harvey Shapiro down the third base line. And he only played 1 game with YD. He went 1 for 3 in that one. That's 5 for 13 on the season. And here's the one from Alstrom. This one grounds foul down the third base line. Again, Nick Demkowski having to go chase that one. 5 for 13 and works out to about a .385 average for Jackson Greer.
Batted .314 for East Tennessee State University. 10 homers this past season. 42 RBIs, and certainly his best season in college. The rising senior has improved every single year with his average.
Here's the 0-2 from Robert Alstrom, the pitcher, and it just misses high. Ball and 2 strikes. So Jackson Greer replaces Giovanni DiGiacomo, and Judd Fabian replaces Campbell in the lineup. So Fabian in center, Greer behind the plate. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball off the end of the bat. It's a tough play for the shortstop, Kendall. He throws on the first base off the hop in time for out number 1.
Ball hung up a little long, and a good play over at short for the Commodores from Kendall. And he was able to charge up on it, play it on 1 hop, put it in the glove, and dish it out over to first to get Greer for the first out in the inning.
Kyle Hess now steps in. He's looking for his first hit. Grounded out to the pitcher twice. It was Ailman at the time, and then struck out once as well. And he looks at a first pitch strike on the outside black, and he falls behind 0-1.
Braves need to get base runners fast. Only have 5 more outs in this game.
0-1 is in the zone, and Kyle Hess very quickly falls behind 0-2.
That leadoff spot really hasn't been solved by Harvey Shapiro. Xavier Warren's been batting a little better recently, but still no bona fide leadoff person.
0-2 pitch, chopper over to third base. Tawa's got it. Throw onto first base across the diamond is in time. It beats Hess by a couple steps, and very quickly there's 2 outs to go here in this bottom of the 8th.
Hess just caught late, and here he is, Xavier Warren, pinch hitting for Jake McKenzie. He'll come up batting in the number 2 spot, looking to get something going offensively.
So Warren comes in for McKenzie. McKenzie to that point was 0 for 3. And Xavier Warren last night against the Brewster Whitecaps, not his best night, 0 for 5. Had a strikeout, and he grounded out to end the game with the tying run on second. Here's the first pitch to Warren. Breaking ball. It misses the zone, down and in for ball 1.
Warren, a .205 average coming into this game. 1 home run was against Falmouth, 6 RBIs. That leads the team. 4 of them were that game against Falmouth.
That offensive explosion we thought we saw. 1-0 pitch. Misses the zone inside, and that one skips away for the second time from the catcher Smith. 2 balls and no strikes now, and depending on how they line up defensively, we might see Xavier Warren get his first knocks over at second base. They might move Morissette over to second base as well and have Warren go occupy third. Here's the 2-0 to Warren. That is in the zone, right on the black inside. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count.
Warren's played mainly third base, got a little bit of action at first base in 1 game. That's been about it for him.
2-1 count to Xavier Warren. Grounds this one foul down the third base line. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And with a 2-strike count, Warren has 11 strikeouts on the season. That is a team-leading number.
And you would expect it just because of how successful Warren has been at the plate this season. Just like everybody on the team, he's had his ups and his downs at the plate. Mentioned batting .205. Trying to stay off his second 0 for game, with this probably going to be his only at-bat. As it stands right now, trying to avoid his 12th strikeout. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and it is going to be strikeout number 12 from Xavier Warren. It's a 1-2-3 inning. The Braves only have 3 outs to go. They got to go play defense for 3 more outs and try and keep this deficit at 3 runs. Top of the 9th inning when we come back here on the Braves Baseball Network. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physician, expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. 6 outs to go in the ball game. Top of the 9th inning. J.P. Woodward still on the mound. The defensive changes for the Braves. It's Judd Fabian in center, Cody Morissette at second, Xavier Warren at third, and Jackson Greer now catching. And it'll be the bottom 3 due up for the Commodores here in the top of the 9th inning. Taylor Smith, Jackson Couts, and Kevin Kendall. First pitch from Woodward, breaking ball that misses the zone, gets away from the catcher Greer. 1-0 the count. Smith so far on tonight's game, he's 0 for 1. He was hit in the second, grounded out in the 4th, and walked in the 6th inning. And Woodward switches out the baseballs. Now we're ready to go. And tell you what, Sam, it must be nice being a relief pitcher. I see them tossing the Frisbee over there in right field in the Falmouth bullpen. 1-0 pitch is fouled off. 1-1 now the count. There is an arm getting loose, but everybody else just kind of taking it easy.
Yeah, when you have a 3-0 lead and have had such a good game that Falmouth has had, about to break a 3-game losing streak if they can hold on, yeah, I wouldn't mind tossing the Frisbee around.
1-1 is swung on and missed. Count now at a ball and 2 strikes.
Especially with that open space in the outfield. I mean, you got a football field over in left field, an open field in right.
Here's the 1-2 that misses outside. County was at 2-2. And I think it's almost with every single team. The bullpen, the relief pitchers are when you're going to get some of your more crazy characters. Here's a 2-2. Line drive, and it's foul. Just barely. Would have been extra bases for Taylor Smith. But it falls on the right side of the chalk. If you're a Braves fan, count at 2-2.
Woodward is trying to continue the success he had in the 8th inning. A strikeout and 2 groundouts. He was able to get out of that inning without a hit suffered.
Two balls, 2 strikes. The count to Taylor Smith, looking for his first hit of the game, and he's going to get it. It's just off the glove of Xavier Warren, and it might be extra bases for Smith. The ball just trickling down the left field line. Hess comes up throwing, and he overthrows second base, and it's backed up by Nick Bruiser wisely. It's a leadoff double, and it was almost very nearly an out.
Xavier Warren, I think, timed his hop a little too early. He jumped as soon as that ball came off the plate, and he was coming down in his jump when that ball hit off the glove. Now, here's the big question. If that ball hits the glove, or if it doesn't hit the glove, is that ball still a double or a single? That would have been close. It was hit on the left field side. Warren stopped it with the glove, but because he stopped it, it was stopped right over in left field before Bourne could get to it, and that allows Taylor Smith to get over to second with a leadoff double.
Now Tyler Ross is pinch hitting here for Jackson Counts. So Counts nights come to an end. He sat at 0 for 3. Tyler Ross out of Alabama batted .255 for the Crimson Tide. And his first pitch misses inside for ball 1. Woodward looking in here. Another leadoff man on second base. Here's the 1-0 to Ross, and he lines it foul. Counted a ball and a strike. So far on the season, Tyler Ross still looking for his first hit. Zeros across the average for him in 10 at-bats. Here's the 1-1. A little floater down the right field line. Will be close. Just lands foul. Nick Bruiser was in pursuit. Count now at a ball and 2 strikes.
Bruiser just missed getting to it over on the first base line, and luckily that ball was foul. That could have been a single for Tyler Ross. And it goes down as a strike, and now Jackson Greer having a meeting with J.P. Woodward with a 1-2 count on Tyler Ross.
Yeah, maybe just a miscommunication when it comes to signs between the two guys. Just wanted to work it out. The Braves in danger of losing their second straight game at home. And in danger of falling to 5-8 on the season.
If they lose tonight, that'll be the third time the Braves have lost 2 straight this season.
And we have time called. Everybody taking their time to get set here. 3-0 lead for the Commodores. Here's the 1-2 from Woodward. Pop up on the infield. Morissette now at second base, being put right into action, and he makes the catch in shallow right field for the first out of the inning.
Ross not getting good contact on it, just popped it up in the shallow center field area. Morissette was right there, backed up a little bit, and made the play.
Kevin
Kendall now steps in. Number 9 hitter in the lineup. 1 for 2 so far in today's game. He also has a walk and a stolen base. First pitch here from J.P. Woodward. It finds his zone for strike 1. Falmouth have an arm loosening up in the bullpen, so it looks like Alstrom's night most likely will come to an end. 3, 4, 5 spots due up for the Bravos. And the 9th inning.
It's the best part of the lineup that you want to up, especially with Glowinky and Beloso.
Especially with the way they're playing tonight. Have to get out of this inning first. And the 0-1 misses outside. Ball and a strike here with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning now. And if this score were to hold, it'd be the 8th time this season that the Braves have been held to under 2 runs. 1-1 is a ground ball to short. Glowinky's got it. Sidearm throw to first has in time for out number 2. However, the runner, Taylor Smith, moves up to third base. So 2 outs, runner on third here for Falmouth at the top of the 9th.
You mentioned that stat, the 8th time, potentially, the Braves could be held under 2 runs. It's just so tough to win games when you can't score over that amount of runs. We know the offensive struggles that the Braves have had. It continues into this game, and they have to figure out something fast. That's for sure.
44 games seems like a lot on paper, but we are flying through them, especially with the weather clearing up. Hayden Cantrell steps in, and he takes a first pitch strike. Cantrell 0 for 3 on tonight's game. He has a run scored thanks to the air he got on with in the first inning. Here's the 0-1. That's in the zone, and Hayden Cantrell quickly falling behind 0-2.
He's been held in check so far pretty well. Came around to score in the first inning as he got on with an error, but has only been on once with a walk in this game.
Here's the 0-2, and it's a waste pitch from J.P. Woodward up and outside. Cantrell doesn't bite. 1-2 now the count. Runner on third is the catcher, Taylor Smith. 1-2 is a wild pitch, but the backstop helps out the Braves. It's a brick backstop. It takes a hard bounce, and it comes right back to Jackson Greer, and Woodward and the Braves get away with one.
Could have easily been the fourth run of the game for Falmouth, but right back to Jackson Greer as it bounced off that backstop. Luckily for the Braves, Taylor Smith stays over at third.
Cantrell has been so good tonight at working counts. Here's a 2-2 line drive. It's going to be close to the line, and it just goes over. Watch out. Noah Bridges out there in right field didn't know where the fence was, and he went into it very hard. He caught the ball off the bounce, and he jokingly held it up to the umpire, and that little snippet right there just shows you what kind of guy Noah Bridges is.
He's a guy that's going to go all out at any time in the game. He sprinted for that ball with no regard for the fence at all. And a play that looked like it might have hurt his midsection a little bit, almost flips over the fence, and just like he pulls up the ball, showing it to the umpire after he catches it off for the bounce. Bridge is one of the more characters on the team.
Yeah, no regard for the fence or his body. He went in there hard. 2-2 to Cantrell. Fouls it straight back into the screen. And Woodward and Cantrell locked in a battle here. Top of the ninth inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the delivery from Woodward, and it's down and in. Woodward thought it was strike 3. He was getting ready to walk toward the dugout. Count fills up.
Looking to work the fastball right on the inside part of the plate. Now it's a 3-2 count to the best hitter in this lineup.
Here's the payoff pitch from Woodward to Cantrell. Breaking ball, ground ball in the shortstop. Glowenke's got it. Sidearm throw to first base. Beats him by a step, and it's out number 3. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're coming down to the final inning. The Braves down to their final 3 outs, and they trail by 3 runs to the Falmouth Commodores. You'll see the game unfold here coming up next on the Bourne Braves of Baseball Network. Three 0 score. Falmouth on top of the Bravos here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Commodores are going to their closer. It's Zach Brisky here, Sam.
The right-handed pitcher out of Virginia Tech has 2 saves on the year so far in his only 2 appearances on the season. Pitched against Chatham on June 12th, and his most recent appearance was a 9-6 victory over YD on June 23rd. Pick up the save there as well. 2 innings pitched on the season, only 1 hit allowed, no runs, a 0.00 ERA, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and of course 2 saves from the junior out of Virginia Tech. He'll look to put down Glowenke, Beloso, and Bruiser in the bottom of the 9th to pick up his 3rd save on the season.
And like you said, this is a save situation here for Brisky. It would tie him with the lead and up there with the likes of Tyler Brocious for the most amount of saves so far in the Cape season. Here's the first pitch to Glowacki, and it's in there for strike one from the right-handed Brisky. Glowacki so far on the night, 3 for 3, 3 singles. Oh, 1 to Glowacki. That one's in the dirt. Ball 1. Ball and a strike now. Brisky in the windup, working quickly here. Delivers the 1-1. Fly ball. It hangs up there. It's shallow left field for Austin Langworthy in left. He's under it. Loses his hat, but keeps track of the ball and catches it for out number 1.
Glowacki before that, you mentioned, had 3 singles and, of course, never came around to score on any of them. And that's been it for the Braves. They've had 7 hits, 7 runners on base and more, thanks to a couple walks, and just not being able to get any runner home for any runs.
Cade Beloso steps in, 1 for 3. Grounded into a double play, an inning-ending double play back in the 6th. His first pitch misses up and out for ball 1. Beloso did get a hit, so that's a perfect 3 for 3 in games with hits. 1-0 pitch line straight back right in front of us. Count now to ball and a strike. And for the Braves in this one, just have to try and get runners on.
It's been the whole season.
Yeah, it has. Here's the 1-1 to Beloso. Just misses the zone outside. 2 balls on a strike now. Bruiser on deck. Still have a chance here. Just need a couple base hits and something to score the runners. Here's the 2-1. Line drive is going to end up foul. Out of play down the left field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to count. And like I said, Sam, it's almost a carbon copy game from last night. 7 hits. Looks a lot on the box score, but it doesn't really feel like any. Can't convert any into runs.
Yeah, it's the same story. They've been getting runners on, just haven't been converting, and every hit's been a single as well.
2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Beloso goes down on strikes after a small battle, and the Braves down to their last out.
It's another frustrating game for the Braves offensively. 3 runs allowed from to Falmouth, but that should be a deficit that could be overcome, and just nothing happening offensively. 7 hits, no runs.
Nick Bruiser trying to keep the Braves night going. Broken bat ground ball. This is going to be it. Kendall makes a throw onto first base, and he beats Bruiser by a step, and the Commodores beat the Braves 3-0 after the 3rd save on the season from Zach Brisky. He works a 1-2-3 inning.
Brisky comes in and shuts down the Braves, puts them down in order to end this ball game. A 3-0 win for Falmouth puts them at 3rd place in the West and knocks Bourne down to the 4th spot. Braves lose 2 straight for the 3rd time this season and now look toward Hyannis tomorrow to try to get back in the win column, and hopefully the bats can heat up at Hyannis as well, because they were certainly not there tonight with 7 hits and no runs.
And we mentioned how important these next games can be for the Braves, going up against the Western Division opponents like the Commodores and like the Harbor Hawks. How much pressure do you think this puts on the team for tomorrow to get a win?
Well, certainly a little bit. And Hyannis, a team that's only won 2 ball games this season. Bourne doesn't want to be that 3rd win for Hyannis. I think Bourne, if you're on the Braves, you can look at this game as being a bounce-back game and hopefully can get your bats rolling on a team that has the worst ERA in the Cape in Hyannis. So hopefully a bounce-back game for tomorrow, but for tonight against Falmouth, just wasn't there offensively.
So once again, our final score, Falmouth 3-0 winners over the Braves tonight from Doran Park. And you'd have to imagine, Sam, that Ryan Cusick probably will get the start for the Braves tomorrow against the Harbor Hawks. What can we expect out of him?
Cusick coming off a pitcher of the week honors performance in the 2nd game against Chatham, where he was absolutely stellar, striking out 8 Angler batters. and it gave him Cape Cod Baseball League Pitcher of the Week honors against Hyannis, a team that really just hasn't figured it out. They've only won 2 games. They have the league's highest ERA and one of the league's lowest batting averages. And Cusick hopefully can get the Braves back in the winning column by shutting down their bats and getting a little bit of offensive help as well.
So Falmouth improves to 5-6-1 on the season, picking up their 11th point, and the Braves fall to 5-8, sticking at 10 points. Like we mentioned, Falmouth moving over the Braves in terms of the West standings back into third place. The Braves still clinging on to that 4th playoff spot as it stands right now, but go against Hyannis tomorrow night in a game hopefully that does happen. The rain is in the forecast all day tomorrow, not only in Hyannis, but across the Cape. Final look at the lines. Falmouth Commodores 3 runs off of 6 hits, no errors, and 6 left on base. For the Braves, no runs off 7 hits, 1 error, and 5 left on base. Franco Ailman moves to 2-0 so far on the season, picking up the win in tonight's game. Sean Harney falls to 1-1. He's credited with the loss. And Zach Brisky picks up his 3rd save of the season, and that ties him for the league high along the likes of Tyler Brocious for the Braves. Final game time was 2 hours and 35 minutes. And the Braves fall to the Commodores, and they split the season series with them so far. 1 win and 1 loss to the Doors, and they're going against Hyannis on the road tomorrow after a shaky home stretch here, going 1-2 in their 3-game home run. Well, that's all we're going to have tonight. The Braves walk away from Dorn Park 3-0 losers to the Falmouth Commodores. For Sam Wiederhaft, I'm Jordan Palacio. We hope you have a happy and safe rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow night from Hyannis. Until then, good night, everybody.